Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to KUMB TV's Eyes Up Mother Brown. We are back for another Premier League encounter. This time it's West Ham United versus Nottingham Forest. A must-win game, if ever there was a must-win game for the Hammers. I'll be back with you in just a few seconds. Get your score predictions coming in, please, if you will. You confident? Not so confident? Let us know in the live chat. I'll be with you in just a second. Right, you lot, let's get the afternoon started. West Ham, Nottingham Forest, huge game, as you'll all be aware. Last chance saloon for Moisey, says Hobo. You could be right, we're just seeing, for those of you that have got a stream, Roberta Moore and her children, the grandchildren of the great late Bobby Moore, are leading looks like they're leading their own kids. Actually, could be great grandchildren of the great Bobby Moore out on the pitch now. As the players, I think we're going to have, it's a minute's silence or a minute's applause. Minute's applause, indeed it is, for Moore. Of course, yesterday marked 30 days since the passing of the West Ham United legend. Died, of course, at the age of just 51 in February 1993. 30 years ago. Doesn't seem that long ago, does it? How quickly time passes. But there it is, the players just respecting that minute's applause for Bobby Moore today. And the game will be getting underway very soon. Let's have a quick look at some of your score predictions for the day. What have we got? Alan Pardew's dad first in. 3-1 to West Ham, he says. Going to be a good game. Polaroid also going with a 3-1 win for the Hammers. Rob Young going for a 2-0 West Ham United win. So I like the confidence. David O'Rourke coming with a 4-0 to West Ham. I'm liking your confidence, guys. Let's hope you're right this afternoon. I quite fancy this as well as it goes. I've got to say, I fancy us to pull off a bit of a performance today. But we shall see, of course, in due course. Having a quick look at the team for those of you that can't see them. There they are, the teams behind me. West Ham United lining up in what looks like a 4-3-3 formation. Fabianski, Soufal and Johnson left and right back. Aguerd and Ogbonna at centre-half. Declan Rice, Lucas Paqueta returning from injury, and Thomas Souček forming that three-man midfield. And then wide players, we have Jarrod Bowen and Said Benrahma, with Danny Ings starting in the centre, which of course means that Michail Antonio is benched this afternoon, along with Emerson, Kera, Downs, Lanzini, Fornals, Scamacca, also back, Cresswell and Areola. And certainly can't say, David White certainly can't say that he hasn't got a decent squad to pick from today, because all those players are there. Now, no Kurt Zouma, of course, but anyway, we shall see. Not confident at all, says David O'Rourke. Well, you know. What is it, 5 wins so far this season? Not looking great. You can just see the table down there in the corner as things stand. We'll be keeping an eye on the matches elsewhere throughout the afternoon as well. See what's going on. What have we got? Of course, there was a draw last night. Wolves were leading 1-0 at Fulham last night, until Fulham got a wonderful equaliser. And saving ensuring it wasn't that bad. It could have been even worse after what happened last weekend. If Wolves won last night, it would have been absolutely horrendous. But only a point for Wolves. It means they stay above West Ham, 4 points above West Ham, but it could have been 6. Anyway, today's game, Newcastle-Brighton, was scheduled for today. That one, of course, postponed because of the cup match. I think it's tomorrow, isn't it? Now, we've just seen West Ham, and Danny Ings got into the box, and unlucky there. First chance we've seen for the Hammers. Danny Ings just cutting inside, fed through the centre. It was good work. Soufal actually put the ball over the top. Poor touch by the defender. Jared Bowen set Danny Ings up, cut inside about 10 yards from goal, but just had the ball taken off his foot by one of the Forest defenders. Felipe, actually, it was number 38. The 33-year-old who's done really, really well since he came in earlier in the season. Very, very good player for Forest. What else have we got this afternoon? Leeds Southampton, massive, massive game at the bottom of the Premier League as well. And then Leicester City versus Arsenal. Also taking place tomorrow. Bournemouth host Man City. Palace host Liverpool, and Tottenham face Chelsea, which doesn't really have any bearing on West Ham's situation at the moment. But we'll be keeping an eye on those other games anyway. Everton Villa, of course, as well, also being played this afternoon. But we're 2.5 minutes gone here. It's West Ham United 0, Nottingham Forest 0. In a game that Hammers really, really need to win. Now, Declan Rice plays the ball out right to Thomas Souček, about 30 yards from goal. Tries to play it down the line for Bowen. Bowen advancing, but the ball is cut out and a free kick is given against West Ham. Jared Bowen just catching Renan Lodi, I think that is. I'm sure he did really just kind of run into the back of him. End of the road draw, Hobo says, talking about today's results. Today's match. I don't know, Hobo, I've got a funny feeling this is going to be a good day for West Ham. Maybe that's the eternal optimist in me. But I don't know. I've just got a feeling I fancy us today. But anyway, we'll see. 3 minutes gone anyway so far. Decent opening for West Ham. Kind of get the feeling that Steve Cooper is going to set out to frustrate the Hammers today, try and maybe cause a bit of unrest. Excuse me just a moment. Sorry about that. Cause a bit of unrest, maybe, and frustrate the home crowd. Of course, the longer it goes on at 0-0, that will probably be the case. But anyway, 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes gone. West Ham 0, Forest 0. Vladimir Soufal on the ball, plays it down the flank, looking for Jared Bowen again. The ball won by a Forest defender, but only as far as Thomas Souček, who wins a throw-in for the Hammers, some 20-25 yards from goal. Decent start for West Ham here today. And Vladimir Soufal with throw, just parallel to the edge of the penalty box. Soufal gets down the line. And West Ham with a corner. First corner of the day. Bonner going forward. Danny Ings in the box as well. Thomas Souček getting forward. Jared Bowen's going to take this. It's on West Ham's right as we look. The first corner of the day in the 5th minute. Bowen, the right hand goes up, delivers it to the near post. Only half cleared out, looked dangerous. Only as far as Paqueta nods the ball back. And Jared Bowen has the ball again, tries to put it back in the box, does so. Declan Rice gets up. Bonner's had a shot, and it's a terrible shot. Sorry, I've got to, excuse me just a second. Who keeps fucking banging? Back in the tick, folks. Sorry. Sorry about that. It's all happening outside. Where are we? 5.5 minutes gone. West Ham have the ball. Forest clear their lines. Only as far as Jared Bowen. Falls to Declan Rice. Declan Rice plays it inside. Vladimir Soufal, 35 yards to goal. Lifts the ball into the box. It's easily dealt with, though. But West Ham definitely got Forest under the cosh at the minute. Forest just can't get out of their own third at the moment. They've won a free kick just outside their own penalty box, though. Fouled by Danny Ings. But Hammer's keeping the pressure on. Podolak says Bowen's looking lively. early doors. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. It's a decent start. Looks all right. Certainly gone out there with the right intentions anyway this afternoon, which is all we can ask at this stage. Just hope that the crowd stay with the Hammers this afternoon. David Moyes did, of course, mention that it's going to need a big performance from the fans as well this afternoon to get behind the team, and hopefully lead the Hammers to victory this afternoon. Massive game. Of course, really need 3 points. Forest currently 5 points above West Ham in the table. If they were to win today, that gap would extend obviously to 8 points, which would be disastrous for West Ham. Yeah, I don't really want to think about that at this stage. But anyway, Vladimir Soufal over the halfway line on the right, dashing down the right-hand side, looks to play it inside to his compatriot Thomas Souček. But the ball is easily cut out and Forest look to get out of their own half. They've not done that much this afternoon. You sense they're going to be trying to hit West Ham on the counter. John Joe Shelvey starting for Forest today, the former Newcastle player, born, of course, in Romford from a West Ham supporting family. John Joe made the move for a nominal fee from the Northeast to the East Midlands in the January transfer window. One of about 400 signings Forest made since last summer. Of course, as they completely renewed their squad upon reaching the Premier League. Saeed Benrahma with the ball, a little bit of trickery. 1-2 with Paqueta. Now this will get the crowd going. Benrahma scoots away on the left, puts the ball across. Poor delivery from Benrahma, not for the first time this season. Falls to Souček, finds Jarrod Bowen. Bowen's inside the box, cuts inside, looks to curl it into the far post, but it's taken a deflection off of the Forest defender, number 32, Lodi. And it's a corner on the left-hand side for West Ham. West Ham's second corner of the game now. Better stuff. Encouraging from the Hammers as they win their second corner. Jarrod Bowen looking quite lively this afternoon. Up in the box, Agard, Ogbonna. Declan Rice is taking this one, as he has been doing recently. It's a short one. It'll be a little 1-2 with... I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but it's back to Declan Rice. Anyway, plays it on outside. The cross is going to come in eventually. There it goes, delivered in, dealt with easily. It's a poor cross, dealt with easily again by Forest. West Ham with the ball again. Paqueta now on the right-hand side of the box. Cuts, looks to pull it across, but again, it's cut out. This time it's Shelvey who puts it, and West Ham have a third corner of the match. It's going to be on the right-hand side again. So it's going to be Jarrod Bowen taking this one. Benrahma crossing early when I never says Polaroid. Yeah, no surprise there. Jarrod Bowen's going to take this free kick, a little bit pushing and shoving inside the box. Thomas Souček getting pushed out the way. Bowen deep across this time, looks for the back post. Navas reaches up to tip it over the bar for a fourth West Ham corner. That one's kind of drifting in towards the far post. Let's have another look. Yeah, I think that's going in. That's actually, that would have gone straight in if Navas hadn't intervened and pushed it over the bar. But anyway, the experienced former PSG goalkeeper managing to do so. It's a corner on the left-hand side now. Declan Rice is going to be taking his second one. Will this be a short one or will this be a deep one? I think this is going to be a long corner this time. Now, the referee's just spotted something inside the box. And he's having a look at Thomas Souček and the defender, the little bit of pushing show. He's actually having a chat with Souček, which is a bit odd because Souček was getting pushed all over the place by Felipe. But they're both at it again. Delivered deep from Rice. Navas stretching, can just about get a hand to it. Shot comes in. Oh, and it's close. Oh, it's so close. West Ham inches away from taking the lead. Let's have another look at this. The corner came over. Navas actually tripped over his play, just got a hand to it. Paqueta it was who pulled the ball across, and it's actually come off a defender and just gone wide of the goal. Could have got, it's actually hit the post. It's come off the post. So there you go. There's the first doing of the afternoon. Paqueta's cross coming off the defender. I think it's Lodi again. And it's off the post. And West Ham not getting the luck, going the wrong side of the post. We had a lot of that, of course, earlier in the season in the reverse fixture. Anyway, corner comes over. Number 5, punched easily clear by Navas. Put back into the box by Benrahma. Just lifts one up. A bit of a nothing cross, really, and hooked out by a defender. West Ham retaining possession. It's all West Ham at the moment. Need to really make this pressure count with a goal. Saeed Benrahma on the left. Plays it inside. Short to Paqueta. Bit of space. Back out to Benrahma. Benrahma's going to lift this one into the box. Does. Easily dealt with once again. Falls to Declan Rice. Declan Rice out on the right-hand side now to Jared Bowen. Come on, Jared. Get inside the box, son. Takes his man on. Beats his man. Can he get a shot away? Oh, it's blocked. Paqueta puts it back in. Blocked. Paqueta again. That's going to be another corner, I think, if it goes. But it doesn't because Navas clutches the ball, pulls it out of the air. And, well, good stuff from West Ham. It's a good start, but so close. That Paqueta cross, low cross, coming off Lodi's instep, I think it was, and just rebounding against the corner and going out for a corner to West Ham off the post. Just the kind of luck we've been having this year. It's just going the wrong side of the post, unfortunately. But good start from West Ham. It's been all West Ham so far in this game. No goals elsewhere so far as things stand between Everton, Villa, Leicester, Arsenal, Leeds, Southampton. The 4 games, that and this game, those in this game being the 4 games being played at 3 p.m. this afternoon. But it's 0-0 here at the London Olympic Stadium with 12 minutes played. West Ham, Lucas Paqueta conceding a free kick. Jared Gillett, of course, the referee this afternoon, the Australian referee who I think he took the game at Forest, if I'm not mistaken, earlier in the season. Had an absolute nightmare. He's not been particularly good for West Ham so far in the games he's managed. But anyway, hopefully the tables will turn and it will do us a bit of a favour today. Anyway, as it is, Forest have a free kick. Shelby's going to take it. It's about 12 yards inside West Ham's half. Shelby with his hands on his hip as the players line up on the edge of the box. Bit of pushing and shoving once again. Ball delivered deep into the box. It's dangerous looking free kick. The header comes in and it's goal bound from Felipe. It's on target, but it's an easy save from Paqueta, who just manages to tip the ball over the bar for Forest's first corner of the afternoon. The Felipe header coming in. Easy one, just tipped over right above his head from Fabianski. Just manages to tip it over. Shelby it was who took the free kick. So what can Forest do? Big Chris Wood up there. Ex-Burnley player, of course, a bit of a scourge of West Ham's over the years. Let's see what happens coming from West Ham's left. It's a deep cross looking for Wood at the far post, cleared out by Rice. West Ham still can't quite clear their lines, but they do now. Now, can we do something with this? Ball's hooked back up in the air by a Forest player. Only as far as Declan Rice, who finds Said Benrahma on the right-hand side. West Ham still in their own half. Paqueta on the ball. Needs to look inside. Finds an easy pass. Ben Johnson, of course, playing at left back this afternoon. Cresswell, not considered. Emerson, not sure if he's fully fit, but not playing this afternoon. Perhaps David Moyes not happy to use the Italian international in a flat back 4, which is how we're lining up this afternoon. Bowen just been sent tumbling to the ground, but the linesman says play on. Shelby looks to break out with the ball for Forest, but gives it immediately away to Vladimir Soufal, who tries to set up Bowen. Bowen with 3 Forest players around him on the right-hand flank, plays it back to Soufal. Soufal looks up, little roll of the foot over the ball, plays it short to Paqueta. Lots of time for West Ham. Paqueta again with the ball and puts it back out. He was looking for Soufal, and she's put it straight back out into touch. The Brazilian, of course, been up and down, hasn't he, this season? Sort of threatened to hit form every now and again, but it's just not quite happened. And yeah, we need a big performance from him. Needs to start justifying that £50 million price tag that West Ham are going to be paying him if he meets all clauses and conditions during his spell at the club. The initial fee about £35-40 million. We're a quarter of the way through the game. West Ham United 0, Nottingham Forest 0. The Hammers 48% of possession so far to Forest 52. I find that quite odd, really, because I thought West Ham had controlled the game. But anyway, West Ham 5 shots, none on target. West Ham, of course, only 4 shots on target in the last 3 games. Pretty desperate stuff. Need to start working the goalkeeper a little bit in this one. Forest 1 shot and 1 on target. The header from Felipe just a couple of minutes ago that Lucas Fabianski managed to tip over the bar. West Ham 5 corners already in the opening 15 minutes. Forest just the 1. But of course, it stays 0-0. The most important stat of all. How are we looking in terms of the comments? What are you thinking so far, team? Are we pretty happy with the way West Ham are playing? Are you quite content with this, or you think we should have perhaps taken the or made a bit more of that early possession that we had? Lingard is on the bench, Rob, this afternoon, not playing, but he's on the bench. Just returned from injury, of course. He's been out for a little while, but came back in midweek to make his place in the matchday squad for Steve Cooper's Forest today. 16 minutes gone, no goals at the London Olympic Stadium. And I don't think there's any goals elsewhere. We've just momentarily lost the fixtures. But anyway, Jarrod Bowen with the ball to the right of Forest's box. It's to Paqueta. Finds Soufal. Soufal can get a cross in there if he can. Turns inside. Can he get one in with his left foot? He can. It's headed out. It's going to be West Ham's 6th corner of the game. 16 minutes in. Soufal unusually putting in a cross with his left foot. Don't see that very often. But he's not really that challenging and headed behind for a West Ham corner. Declan Rice trotting over to the left-hand side to take it. It's going to be his 3rd corner from the left. Now, what's going to happen? We've seen one short. We've seen one go long. Felipe and Souček having a bit of a battle there. Ings underneath Navas. Corner comes in, drifted in. Navas gets up, punches it out. Forest can get this clear. It's fallen to a Forest player, and West Ham dashing back in numbers. But got to be careful here because Forest are breaking with pace on the left-hand side. West Ham 1, 2, 3, 4 players back to surround the players. Excellent work by Soufal, by Paqueta, and by Tommy Souček, all dashing back to close that down. And now West Ham looking to build. Oh, and it's almost gone through. Jarrod Bowen trying to thread a pass through to Danny Ings, just cut out by a couple of Forest defenders. And Forest back in possession on the halfway line. 17 and a half minutes gone. 6 corners, Rob, in the opening 17 minutes, that is, for West Ham. 1 for Forest so far in the 13th minute. But no real threat offered from any of them so far. As has been the case for much of this season, hasn't it? You know, we were so threatening last year from set pieces. Just haven't really done it so much this year. But anyway, Forest with the ball on the right-hand side. Deep cross coming in. Looking for Wood, can't quite get on the end of it, and it's going to fall to Vladimir Soufal on the right-hand side, where the substitutes are currently warming up down by the corner flag. Puts it long, looking for Jarrod Bowen. It's a flick on for Ings. It's flicked on by Ings to Souček, but dealt with by the Forest defence. West Ham, for all their possession, not really threatening that much. It's got to be said. Haven't really worked the goalkeeper yet. It's much similar to what we've been seeing so far, pretty much all season. Still without a shot on goal this afternoon. And we certainly need to work, as I said, got to work Navas this afternoon and put him under pressure. West Ham, of course, have hit the post, even though it came inadvertently from a Forest player. It was Lodi, I think, who turned a Paqueta across onto his own post. And West Ham's luck being as it is, went out for a corner instead of going, in the opposite direction in the back of the net. But anyway, 19 minutes gone. Forest in possession, 35 yards from West Ham's goal. John Joe Shelby with the ball. Turns back, plays it short. Looks for Captain Worrell, who finds the experienced Felipe, number 38. Forest just trying to, for the first time, in fact, in the game, actually getting their foot on the ball and stringing together a few passes. They've not done it at all. Been completely dominated by West Ham so far, but that's a slight error from Ben Johnson there. Can he get back? He does. Recovers really well to win the ball back from Williams, and actually wins a free kick, I think, in the end. Now, Williams has gone down. Quite sure what's wrong with Williams. I didn't quite see what happened there. Let's have another look. Johnson won the ball back by the byline. Oh yeah, that's a nasty one. As he's cleared it, his foot's gone over the top of Williams' shin. On the side of the leg, so there's no shin pad there. So quite painful, those ones, but nothing wrong with that. Williams having a bit of a moan at the referee, but without any justification, because it was just one of those fouls. Just seen a close-up of Jesse Lingard warming up on the bench, getting a few choice words from some of the West Ham fans nearby, as you would expect. Seems to be laughing them off at the moment. Let's hope he's laughing on the other side of his face come the final whistle. Lucas Fabianski with the free kick for West Ham. 20 minutes gone, headed back by Joe Worrell and put back into the mix by Enzo Bono. It's a bit like head tennis at the moment, but the ball's all the way back to Navas in the Forest goal. Navas playing it short to Lodi, who some trouble closed down by Souček and Ings and Bowen. Does very, very well to escape that potentially dangerous situation and keep the ball in play and keep Forest in possession. Now on the halfway line. Number 8, Colback, striking in that yellow shirt with that mop of red hair. Stands out a mile. But West Ham haven't managed to get their foot on the ball for the last couple of minutes. It's been all Forest now, just trying to slow things down and frustrate the home crowd. as you would expect them to try and do at this stage of the game. West Ham, of course, look very, very strong so far. Looked good, but just still not really threatening the opposition goal. Good turn by the number 20 Johnson, who's been in fine form for Forest lately, breaking down the right-hand side, looks for options, plays it short. This is dangerous for West Ham. Number 10, Gibbs White, has a shot, plays it into the near post, but straight into the arms of Lucas Fabianski. But yet again, it's another shot on target for the visitors. 2 shots, 2 on target. West Ham 5-6 shots, haven't hit the target yet. Now, West Ham breaking on the left. Ben Rama just outside Forest box. A little step over, turns back, looks back for Paqueta. Paqueta's going to float one into the box. Poor cross yet again from West Ham. Declan Rice wins possession back, and it's back to the Brazilian. Now, he's found Jared Bowen. Bowen out wide to Sufo. Sufo looking for options. It's a decent delivery in. Can we get in there? Oh, and it's Danny Ings has got it all wrong. Had a free header, but just, I don't know if he met it a little bit early or not, but yeah, I think he's saying he just caught it with the wrong bit of his head. It's a good cross in from Sufar. The first really dangerous cross West Ham have put in. Danny Ings, I don't think he saw it. I think he thought Souček was going to get in there before him. And Souček's just just blocked the ball, and Ings hasn't seen it come through. And if Souček had left that, Ings has got a free header at goal. And, well, if it's not going to hit the back of the net, it's going to be West Ham's first chance on target. But yeah, just that luck just not going with West Ham at the moment. "23 minutes gone. Should have scored," says Dan B. Yeah, I think he would have done if he had been completely unobscured in that situation. At least, as I say, I'm sure he would have hit the target, Dan. But here we are, still 0-0. 23 minutes gone, quarter of the way through the match. West Ham still looking for a first effort on target, in full control of the game, really. But yeah, just not working. Navas. Now, here's Said Benrahma. Look lively so far. Plays it right to Bowen, who's got an overlap from Soufal, who we find. Soufal plays a decent ball across. Worrell manages to hook it clear with his back to goal. And West Ham regain possession. It's all West Ham again. West Ham looking dangerous, but just not able to find that finishing touch at the moment. Jared Bowen now pushed to the floor, and that'll be a free kick for West Ham, some 5 or 6 yards from the byline, right out on the right touchline. So essentially it's going to be like a corner, but just a few yards in. The push coming in from the number 39, Chris Wood, doing some defending, unusual defending now. I don't think it's, I thought he might have been booked for a second there by Gillett, but no, it wasn't the case. And West Ham have a free kick. It looks like Jared Bowen's going to be sending this one into the box. So come on, West Ham, real chance. Craven Moorhead mentioning that Chris Wood has 7 in 10 against West Ham. Yeah, he's one of those players who just always seems to score against us, isn't he? Anyway, Jared Bowen now with the free kick. It's going to be an in-swinger, I think. Looks like he's going to take this with his left foot. Going to swing this into the box. And towards the back stick where we've got Naifa Gerd lurking, Souček, Rice, Ings as well. It is in, and it's cleared by Shelby. 4 West Ham players there just couldn't get there first. Now, Said Benrahma with the ball on the edge of the box, attacking his defender, goes to the byline, pulls it across, wins another corner for West Ham. Corner number 7 for West Ham. It's going to be on the left-hand side this time. So a 4th corner for Declan Rice. Now, can we do something with this? Polaroid says that most movement off the ball I've seen from the front lads all season. Yeah, it's been good so far, hasn't it? Polaroid, lots of good movement. Just lacking that final touch. Hopefully it's coming up right now. Declan Rice with the corner. No, he says when the short one's offered to him, it's going long. And that's punched clear by Navas. Another one, too close to the goalkeeper. Paqueta does well to win the ball back, but loses it immediately. Forest look to break, but Ben Johnson does well to win the ball back for West Ham. Back in Paqueta's possession. Clever little back heel. Finds Agurd, who's playing like a right winger at the moment. Agurd in an unusual position, plays it short to Paqueta, looks for a little 1-2. Now he's way out of position. Needs to scurry back with some haste to get back, but in the end doesn't really need to, because a ball's just hooked clear by Forest, and possession regained by West Ham. In some ways, it's a bit like watching West Ham at White Hart Lane last week, this Forest performance. defending ably, but not really producing anything at the other end. It kind of, a bit like last week, it looks like a goal is inevitable, but of course this is West Ham, who barely scored any goals this season we're talking about, so who knows. Yo Bush says hi from Costa Rica, Navas #1. Hi Yo, good to have you on the stream. Let's hope he's not #1 today, but good keeper for sure. West Ham have a free kick. We are, 31 yards from goal. I think that's Declan Rice, who's hovering over the ball at the moment, looking to deliver it into the box. Lucas Paqueta comes out to have words with his skipper, and they're just having a little bit of a chat now about what to do. It's going to be delivered into the box anyway, I think, this one. Paqueta is who floats it in, looking for Aguirre, but Shelby is first to the ball again. West Ham denied again. That's 7 corners and 2 free kicks on the edge of the box that have come to absolutely nothing so far. Forest, I mean, just keep giving the ball away, and you kind of get the feeling that this isn't sustainable for long. But West Ham really need to put some pressure on the goal. Ben Rama gets to the looking to get to the byline, but cuts back. He's got an easy ball to Paqueta if he chooses it. Finds him. Paqueta with the ball on the box, plays it to Ben Rama. Ben Rama shot. West Ham's first shot on target of the day. It's an easy one for Navas, saving it low to his right hand side, but better from West Ham. Ben Rama, little 1-2 with Lucas Paqueta on the edge of the box, trying his luck. Not a bad effort, really, but no power on it. It's easy for Navas to pull that one into his chest from low on his right hand side. So it remains 0-0. Rapidly approaching the half-hour mark. 28 minutes gone. Goalless still here at the London Olympic Stadium between West Ham and Nottingham Forest. One of 4 games being played this afternoon. There are still no goals anywhere else in the Premier League. Everton, Villa 0-0, Leicester, Arsenal 0-0, Leeds, Southampton 0-0. West Ham Forest, of course, 0-0 here. Hobo says it's like attack versus defence, but with blanks. yeah, not exactly firing on all cylinders, are we, at the moment? Anyway, hopefully this will encourage the players and the crowd. The amount of possession West Ham have had, but Forest certainly seeking out to frustrate West Ham at the moment. There is a goal. I lie. There is a goal at the King Power Stadium. Arsenal are beating Leicester. Arsenal have taken the lead at the King Power Stadium. David Moyes busy taking notes on the touchline. Wonder what he'll do if it stays like this till the half-time interval. Will he make changes? Will he bring on another striker? Will he keep it as it is? Of course, David Moyes famously conservative, but it's going to have to throw caution to the wind because a draw is just not going to be enough today. I think everybody realises that. Really need to start closing the gap on the teams above us, especially Forest. Of course, 5 points clear. Would make a huge difference to win today. Close that gap from 5 to 2 points. We're in the 30th minute of the game. Nottingham Forest have a throw-in just by the halfway line. It's all gone a little bit quiet again. But crowd still behind the Hammers. Excuse me. As we see John Joe Shelby on the ball, probably been Forest's busiest player today. Made a couple of very good clearances in the Forest box from corners and free kicks. Not really produced anything. West Ham winning the ball. Forest unable to string more than 3 or 4 passes together at the moment. And it's West Ham with the ball on the halfway line with Vladimir Soufal, who's been very busy so far. Pretty much everything dangerous that's come from that side from the Hammers so far this afternoon. Soufal putting one very dangerous cross. Of course, Paqueta, the effort that hit the post off the Forest player came from the right hand side. So it looks like the kind of area that West Ham are going to profit from. Most as things stand, we are at the half-hour mark, 1/3 of the way through this game. West Ham United 0, Nottingham Forest 0 at the moment. The Hammers still looking for that opening goal after a very bright start. Declan Rice plays into Soufal. He's going to find Jarrod Bowen, who looking to get into the box. Bowen on the right-hand side of the box. Looks up what options has he got. Cuts inside. Can he play a short ball in there? Goes to, has a shot, has a dip, but it's easy for Felipe to deal with. But it's only as far as Soufal, who plays it again to Bowen. Bowen now with his back to goal. 22, 23 yards from goal and plays it back to Declan Rice, who comes all the way back to Nyford on the halfway line. West Ham look to build again. This is all right though. I don't mind this. Keep ball. You know, it's not bad. It's better. You know, it's always better to have the ball in your possession. If you know, even if you're not doing a great deal with it, of course, it frustrates and stifles the opposition. West Ham, of course, famously not proponents of retaining possession. I think we've won that particular stat many times until this season. Anyway, Forest with the ball. Deep cross, misses everyone, but falls at the back to the number 32, who looks to cut inside, gets a cross in, but it's blocked by Vladimir Soufal and goes out for Forest's second corner of the day. It was Lodi who tried to put the ball in the box. So we can finally hear the Forest fans getting behind their team for the first time, as we see the likes of Felipe and Worrell, the homegrown skipper, of course, so nearly signed for West Ham a couple of years ago. Had already discussed terms with David Moyes, but the Moyes and West Ham opted instead to go for Kurt Zouma from Chelsea, leaving Worrell rather upset. Anyway, the corner comes in from Forest. It's near post and dealt easily with by Paquette, who tries wanted a free kick for a push in the back, but referee Gillett says no. Forest still with the ball, cleared again by West Ham. Now the Hammers a chance to break. Side Benrahma picks up the ball, opens up his legs, opens the throttle, but he's brought down pretty mercilessly, and it looked like a foul to me. Yeah, it is a foul. Felipe gives the ball away and then kicks the ball away, but no, what's going on? No, the referee says play on. Well, no, I thought he'd already given a free kick to West Ham, but apparently not. My apologies. And it's that man, John Joe Shelby, the West Ham fan from Romford, with the ball again. Forest on the right-hand side. Shelby once again. Forest looking to get a cross in, and it's going to come in now. There it is. It's all with the intention of going for Chris Wood, but it's over Wood's head, and Jarrod Bowen plays the ball against Lodi, and it's a West Ham goal kick. Arsenal goal was ruled out, says Craven. Thank you, Craven. So it remains 0-0. We're just seen a shot of Trevor Brooking and his good lady wife in the stands. Trevor Brooking, of course, out for dinner with David Moyes last night. Wouldn't you have paid to be a fly on the wall for that one to hear what was being discussed? Brooking, of course, so famously nearly kept West Ham up, didn't he, in 2003 when taking over from Glenn Roeder for those final 3 games of the season against Chelsea, Man City and Birmingham, wasn't it? If I recall correctly. Just couldn't do it. I think he took 7 points from those 3 games, but it wasn't quite enough to keep the Hammers in the Premier League. Hammers going down, of course, that year on 42 points. Not quite sure it's going to take that to start this year, but I've got a feeling looking at the league table, I mean, you know, I think you normally have 1 or 2 teams that really look that poor compared to the rest. You don't really see that so much this year. Southampton and Bournemouth, Leeds, perhaps West Ham, of course, the poorest teams in that at the moment, but no one really adrift at this stage. So I get the feeling we might be looking at high 30s this year, at least to survive, which of course isn't good news for West Ham. We've only got 20 on the table at the moment. Live streams, is there nothing in the live streaming thread on the KUMB GD forum, chaps? I don't know if you've had a look there, but always worth having a look in there if you're looking for a stream to see if you can find one. Steve Palmer says, bit late, is it worth me finding a stream? Well, it's been all West Ham so far, pretty much. Steve, just seen a stat going up detailing touches in opposition box. West Ham 13 to Forest 3 so far. Huge number for either team, but West Ham, it just gives you an indication of how much control West Ham have had of the match so far. And we have the ball again now. It's back with Angelo Ogbonna inside the centre circle, plays it out to the left to Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson down the flank to side Benrahma, who receives the ball on the back foot, turns to face his man, but in the end plays it back to Johnson. West Ham just patiently building here at the moment, looking to find that gap in a well-drilled Forest defence. Bowen has the ball on the right-hand side. It looks like it's going to go out. Colback marshals the ball out for a throw-in to Forest. West Ham, 54% of possession now to Forest's 46. West Ham, 8 shots, 1 on target, that being the Benrahma shot in the 28th minute that Navas saved low to his left. Forest, 2 shots, 2 on target. Pretty comfortable stuff so far, though, for Lucas Fabianski. 2 easy saves so far. But yeah, West Ham desperately need to try and work Navas, and soon. Thomas Suchik has the ball down by the corner flag, tries to get across in. It's off the back of Lodi, who gets the ball back from Felipe. Just hoofs it clear. Anywhere will do for Forest at the moment. They're fine. Just keep frustrating West Ham while it's 0-0. Paqueta looks to float one into the box. Danny Ings gets up, wins the ball, but it's cleared again by the experienced Felipe, but only as far as Paqueta. Forest really living dangerously at the moment. Great touch from Paqueta. Look one way and pass the ball the other way. Benrahma with the ball. Poor touch from Benrahma. I've just seen Paqueta go to ground, holding his face, but Benrahma's tried to put the cross in, and it's come off cannoned off the this isn't good. It's cannoned off the defender for West Ham corner. But the big news here, I think, is that Paqueta's gone to ground clutching that right. Is his shoulder again? It's his shoulder. And I think that's going to be the end of Paqueta's afternoon. Let's have another look and see what happens here. Paqueta runs into the box, and he just kind of runs into Shelvey. And I think that's indicative of the fact that his shoulder's not properly healed, because there's no real challenge from Shelvey. He just runs into him and he hits the deck. And I think that's going to be the end of Paqueta. I think that's his afternoon. I think that's his race run, because that's the same shoulder that's kept him sidelined, or kept him sidelined for the Spurs game last week, kept him out for just over a week. And there wasn't even a challenge there. Just run straight into him. And I'm pretty certain that's going to be the end of Paqueta, which is bang dreadful news for West Ham. Now, the big question is, if Paqueta goes, do West Ham bring on a like-for-like replacement? We've got Flynn Downs, Manny Lanzini on the bench, of course, Pablo Fornals, or do we stick another striker? And Scamacca, of course, will be itching to get back into the frame. Sorry, I just saw a West Ham fan give the old coffee shake sign to a Forest fan just as the camera's panned in close on him. Paqueta looks like he's going to come back on, actually. He's up and running around, so that's good news. Yeah, he's back on. Anyway, corner. Declan Rice delivers the corner. Puts it up in the air. It's off Bowen's shoulder. And Forest just somehow managed to get it away. I'm not quite sure. They're living so dangerously, Forest, at the moment. Just clearing the ball anywhere. But it was a chance for Bowen anyway. But anyway, Benrahma has the ball to the left of Forest's penalty box. Looks to get to the byline again. Oh, dear, oh, dear. And it's one of those special Benrahma crosses that just, well, it's high and wide. It's just awful. But it was a chance. As I say, it was a chance for Bowen from that corner. Just didn't connect with it properly. Apologies, just writing some notes here. But yeah, it was a chance for West Ham, but yeah, another chance squandered. We've just seen Paqueta. I'm just watching Paqueta here because he still doesn't look himself, but he's back on the pitch. Declan Rice with the ball inside the centre circle, plays it short to Benrahma, who plays it back to Ben Johnson. West Ham need a goal. 5-6 minutes to go till half time. Still 0-0. Jared Bowen wins the ball. And Thomas Shelvey wins the ball off Colback. Colback wanted a free kick. Referee says no. Ball on the right-hand side now with Souček, who's just overrun the ball and it's gone out for a throw-in. Disappointed with himself, the Czech there. Just took his eye off the ball momentarily. And as any young boy knows, it's a schoolboy error. Never take your eye off the ball in those circumstances. We're into the last 5 minutes now of the first half. Still 0-0 here at the London Olympic Stadium. Danny Ings with the ball just outside the box. West Ham managed to pick the ball up from Forest frame, but that's a poor touch from Ings. He's just given the ball straight away, and Forest looking to counter now. Johnson with the ball, but well marshalled. Ings has come all the way back. He's actually conceded a free kick, but fair play. That was good work from Danny Ings. Chased some 50, 60 yards back to make that challenge. And Forest will take plenty of time over this one, I no doubt. Yeah, Ings just catching Johnson, and it is a foul. It's a free kick. Despite Ings' frustration. But good to see good work rate from Danny there. Now, number 10, Gibbs White hovers over the ball for Forest. The big players up, Felipe up, Chris Wood up, Shelvey and moving into an advanced position. 3 big lumps up there for Forest. Lucas Fabianski issuing directions to his players. While referee Gillett draws the customary line on the pitch with the white spray, behind which Jared Bowen and I think it's Ings. Is it Ings? No, yeah, it is Ings are standing. Ings, though, drifts back towards the centre. Gibbs White drifts the ball in. West Ham look to clear it. Tommy Soucek does clear it. Now, that's a foul. I think that's a foul. Yes, well spotted by Gillett. Colbeck fouled Benrahma as the Algerian tried to escape his clutches and find a passage to that Soucek clearance, but was pushed unceremoniously to the deck by Colbeck. And West Ham have a free kick. Some 10 yards outside our own penalty box. West Ham United 0, Nottingham Forest 0 at the moment. Still not a single goal in the Premier League this afternoon. Leeds Southampton 0-0. Leicester Arsenal 0-0. Arsenal having a goal disallowed earlier in the half. Everton Villa 0-0. And of course, this one here at the moment, West Ham Forest 0-0. We're into the final 3 minutes now of this opening half. West Ham pretty much dominated it, but really haven't troubled Navas at all yet. So I think those of us that were predicting 2-3, 4-0 scorelines might be slightly wrong the way things are going, but you never know. We could have a West Ham early blast in the start of the second half. Who knows? Of course, there's still time for a goal or two at the end of this one. Now, Ben Johnson with the ball on the right-hand side as my stream temporarily, hopefully, goes down. And West Ham with possession now. Thomas Soucek looks to win the ball. In the end, it falls to now Ings into the box. Can he find a pass? It just has the ball nicked off his toes. And West Ham, Thomas Soucek's done well to regain possession, but some tricky footwork. Finds Benrahma. Now Benrahma into the box. Can he get the ball back? Can he pull it back? Good work by John Joe Shelby, who's furious with his teammate Joe Worrell for not closing that down there. But anyway, it's good work from Shelby, and it prevents the cross coming in from the Algerian. It's another, is that corner number 9, I think, for West Ham. The 5th corner for Declan Rice on that left-hand side. Haven't troubled Forest yet, any of the 8 corners. Let's hopefully it's a lucky number 9. Corner comes out a little bit further out. And Navas comes 7 yards out of his goal to claim that one. It's hanging up in the air. It's an easy one for the goal. West Ham have got to do some work on these set pieces. Frustrating stuff. 9 corners now. Not won a single one so far, West Ham. Disappointing. We've played well since David O'Rourke, but without a goal, it's all mouth, no trousers. Yeah, it's a fair point, David, I think, but I guess we'd rather, have endured this opening 45 minutes than, maybe a half where we've not seen much of the ball at all. It's pretty much West Ham in, dominant form, isn't it, so far in terms of possession, but if you're Steve Cooper, I think you're fairly happy with the way things are going so far. You've managed to prevent West Ham from scoring. Had a couple of chances yourself. You're going to, not sure there's any frustration yet in the home crowd, but much more of this than there will be. I'm sure people will start getting a little bit frustrated as time goes on without a West Ham goal. But anyway, Forest looking to open the score themselves here on the edge of the box, West Ham's box. West Ham back in numbers as Forest just keep possession, working the ball backwards now. It's back near the halfway line. With Felipe, the number 38 in the centre circle, last Forest player. Plays it to the right to Worrell, who's just come back to help his teammate out. And Worrell just plays it straight into touch. And that pretty much sums up Forest's performance this half. I'm not sure they're really, trying to threaten West Ham that much. I think they're quite happy just to sit back and soak up the pressure. Anyway, West Ham have lost the ball. Now Forest breaking on the right-hand side. Angel Bonner does well to get a foot in, but ball's back with Johnson now. He's thrown himself to the floor. That's the most disgraceful dive I think I've ever seen. Gets inside the box and hurls himself to the floor. That really should be a booking from Gillett there. From the. Let's have another look at this. He turns Johnson. I mean, he just sticks his foot back into Johnson's leg and throws himself to the floor. That's pretty disgraceful stuff from Johnson. Yeah, I mean, he can feel Johnson's presence, and the mere presence of Johnson is enough, apparently, for Johnson to hurl himself to the floor. Now, he's been spoke to. He seems quite upset about it, but I'm not sure why, because it was a blatant dive. It's disgraceful stuff. But anyway, Gillett not impressed. Johnson not impressed, and I'm not impressed either. So that pretty much means we're all in the same boat with regards to that incident. We're now into, only 1 minute added on at the end of the half, and we're pretty much at the end of it already. So unless something drastic happens now in the final few seconds, we're going to go into the break goalless. Navas hoofs one clear, ball played back. West Ham win possession back, but give it away instantly. And it's in the centre. Johnson, who just took that terrible dive a minute ago, has got the ball at his feet, plays it short, wins the ball back, and plays it back once again to Joe Worrell in his own half. Forest quite happy to see out this first half. Short pass to Shelby. Shelby passes it short himself, and referee has had enough at 46 minutes and 21 seconds. An extra 21 seconds played over the minimum 1 minute called a few moments ago. Decides that's that. And it's half-time here at the London Olympic Stadium. West Ham United 0, Nottingham Forest 0. The Hammers in full control pretty much. Still not threatening enough. Still not threatening enough. And Forest managed to cope with West Ham's attacks pretty easy. Story of the first half, West Ham 52% possession to Nottingham Forest's 48. West Ham 9 shots and only 1 on target. Kind of tells the tale. Forest 2 shots, 2 on target. Neither of those efforts. First from Gibbs White, the second coming in from, who was it? Was it Felipe with a header? I think it was. Yeah, Felipe had a 13th minute and the Gibbs White effort on 22 minutes. Both on target for Forest. West Ham, 9 corners. BBC say 8. I'm sure it's 9. And it could be 8. It's 5. I know Rice has taken 5. It's perhaps 3. Is it only 3 for Bowie? Forest 2 corners. So that kind of gives you an indication of where the play's been in the first half. But West Ham just not threatening enough. Only 1 shot on target, 1 measly effort on target. And that was that pretty easy one for Navas to save from Ben Rama in the 28th minute. West Ham did, of course, hit the post early on. After just 11 minutes, Lucas Paqueta delivered a low ball from the right-hand side of the penalty box into towards the 6-yard area. Lodi kind of come off the back of his foot, I think, and struck the outside of the post and went out for a West Ham corner. Again, it's West Ham's luck, really, I suppose, that it didn't hit the other side of the post and find the back of the net. But that's where West Ham are. It's exactly the same story at the City Ground earlier in the year. Baking hot day for everyone who was there that day. Probably the hottest I've ever been inside a football stadium. And West Ham had 1 chalked off, missed a penalty. It was just that sort of day, wasn't it? Hit the post a couple of times. So it's fair to say we've not had much luck against Forest this season. It's hopefully that will change a little bit in the second period. Whether or not David Moyes will make any changes remains to be seen. Quick look at what's happening elsewhere. Well, there's absolutely nothing happening elsewhere because there's 4 games in the Premier League this afternoon, and we have not a single goal from all 4 so far. Arsenal did, of course, have the ball in the net at Leicester, but it was disallowed. In terms of the Premier League table, as things stand, this point would not be enough to get West Ham out of the bottom 3. One wonders whether it would be enough to save David Moyes' bacon. Not quite sure. It would leave West Ham 18th in the table, a point behind Bournemouth and a point behind Everton, were Everton to draw. Wolves, of course, drawing last night. They're 4 points above the Hammers, as are Leicester, as things stand, and Forest currently 5 points above West Ham in the live Premier League table. Although I'm saying that, I'm not sure that is live, actually. I think West Ham would go above Bournemouth if that was the case on goal difference, but yeah, everything seems to be playing up a little bit this afternoon. But anyway, fairly so. Yeah, it's definitely no goals at halftime in any of the 4 games. We know that much. Let's have a look at some of your comments. What did you think of that first half, team? Let me know your thoughts on that first half. Are you pleased with what you saw from West Ham? Were you encouraged by that performance, or was it, for you, a case of same old, same old? Plenty of shots, but none really threatening the goalkeeper. Let me know what you think. What would you do if you're David Moyes? Do you make a change at halftime? Would you bring on another striker? Would you leave it as it is for 15 or 20 just to see if West Ham can nick that goal early on? Let's have a look at some of your comments. Craven Moorhead says, I'm no Premier League manager. Surely not Craven. But surely a winger is better off taking corners. Ballon d'Orson says, Skamaka for Souček, win or bust. Fairly decent game. He's been involved quite a lot, as he's Souček so far, but to little effect, really. He's been, buzzing around a lot, won lots of ball. Was Johnson booked for the dive? I bet he wasn't, says Craven. No, I'm fairly certain he wasn't, Craven. Didn't flash up on my screen anyway. David O'Rourke says, the balls in are so bad, we may as well have Benny shooting from them. Yeah, the delivery's not been great, has it, so far? We had that one good cross that came in, didn't we, from Soufal to the far post, which Souček got up ahead of Danny Ings. And as I said at the time, I'm fairly certain if Souček hadn't been in the way, Danny Ings at least hits the target, if not finds the back of the net unmarked from only 5 yards out. You've got to fancy a strike of that caliber to hit the target for there. But he's just put off, wasn't he? Saying about West Ham's luck, it's just not going for us at the moment. All these little moments, just bad luck going against us. The post, Souček, going up for the header, not getting in Ings' way. Yeah, just not working for us at the moment. But we do need to create more. That's an absolute certainty. A 0-0 result, 0-0. What's a 0-0? 0-0 result will be toxic, says Richard. Well, yeah, you do fear for David Moyes. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think Moyes will be fired tonight if West Ham don't win this game? Do you think David Sullivan sticks with him for a bit longer? Of course, there's a report earlier in the week. Who was it? Jason Burt, I think, wrote in the Telegraph that Moyes has one game to save his bacon. The Times also running, was it Gary Jacob, maybe running with a story the following day that Moyes has to win to remain in his post. What do you think? Do you think he stays or goes if West Ham don't win that game? And Pardews' dad, a good first half. We need to keep the pressure on. Any sub should come at 60 minutes. I kind of agree with that, actually, APD. I think, we've done all right the first half. Yeah, we've not troubled Navas too much, but we're controlling the game so far. No need to make any sort of urgent changes. I think let's see how it goes for the opening 10-15 and change if nothing happens. I think that's a fair shout. Mark disagrees, however, says get Skamaka up front with Ings. Rice holding in midfield is enough against this lot. Fair point. Tony Mitchell, not a bad half. Will be good to create some clear chances for the possession we've had. And the Hobo pointing out 9 corners plus 52% possession equals best part of F all. I'm sure you don't need me to explain what that means, but yeah, it's a fair point. All fair points so far, chaps. David O'Rourke says, we're so unlucky this season that if we fell into a barrel of boobs, we'd come out sucking our thumbs. Indeed, it feels a little bit like that, David, doesn't it? At times, I said the Forest game, I mean, it was absolutely astounding watching that we didn't win it, let alone, to lose it was just outrageous. I mean, to draw it would have been frustrating and disappointing, but to lose it was just unbelievable in the circumstances. So we're certainly owed a bit of luck, aren't we, against Forest this season? But whether it will come or not, we wait to see. Only 45 minutes for it to happen if it's going to happen, but we just need to keep putting on some pressure. What have we got here? Craven says a goalless draw will keep Earnbrew in the job. We'll see. We'll see. Of course, we have our sources at the club, and should anything change in terms or in respect of Moyes' current employment position, we will let you know as soon as we hear. Don't forget, of course, it was KUMB who broke the news when Manuel Pellegrini was fired on, back in 2019. So we'll try and bring you any news should it happen this afternoon. If, of course, West Ham don't win, we hope it's not necessary because, of course, we all want West Ham to come through and win this game. But got to step up. We've been saying it all season. We say it every game. We've got to be better in the second half. Got to improve. And while the build-up has been good, everything in the first 2/3 has been good, isn't it? So far, it's just the final third where we've been lacking again. Maybe another goal scorer would be the answer, but we'll see. And more as that says Robert Waldron, but who's going to come in? Well, we know Rafa Benitez has been in discussions with David Moyes in recent days and weeks. We also know that he wants a longer-term contract. Whether or not they manage to thrash something out in midweek remains to be seen. Of course, there was a rumour, and it is, of course, just that Pochettino was interested and perhaps signalled to West Ham that he might be interested in coming in. But I say that with the caveat that I believe the source was Football Insider, who are not particularly known for being accurate in terms of insider information, despite their moniker. Yeah, I wouldn't put too much credence on that, but I think Benitez is the obvious candidate as things stand. If, of course, he's Ian Sullivan have managed to reach an agreement. I mean, you can be sure. I think that Sullivan's been talking to potential candidates in the last couple of weeks. But whether or not anything will happen, we shall see. But as I say, of course, we hope it doesn't happen because we don't want West Ham not to win this afternoon. I'd love for us to take company in the summer, says David O'Rourke. Yeah, doing a good job, isn't it, Bernie? Not sure we've seen enough of him to merit earning a job at this level, but yeah, he certainly started well. Same with Carrick as well, and Will Steele over in Liga, who's doing a good job. But all very, very green managers who no experience under their belt, especially at this level. It's a massive 45 minutes coming up, says Mark. I'm Moyes out, but we have to win this game. He has to go for it for once. Yeah, I think it's a sentiment that most of us would agree with there, Mark. Richard Van says, I've seen worse this season. We need to make our dominance count, get one, and it will take the pressure off. A massive 45 minutes come. I mean, yeah, that is the point. I mean, what happens if we go 1-0 up? Do Forest take the brakes off then? Do they start coming at West Ham? You'd assume that, they're going to have to at some point if that was the case. But, yeah, it certainly would change the game. And it'll be interesting to see how West Ham reacts if we do score, of course, because generally speaking, we've seen it under Moyes. We get the goal and, we take our foot off the throttle a little bit, try and sit back and protect it rather than go for the jugular. We kind of get the feeling if that happens today, it's going to be exactly the same scenario because, the win is of utmost importance this afternoon, whether it's 1-0 or 4-0, it's all about taking the 3 points. And so I wouldn't expect us to go gung-ho if we do score, but we shall see. We were brilliant, as Dawson was such a threat since Craven, talking about the former defender now at Wolves. He nearly scored for Wolves last night. We've so missed him at set pieces. Yeah, we have a bit. I think it's the combined threat, isn't it? It's Dawson combined with the likes of Bonner and Souček and Antonio, of course, standing in front of the goalkeeper. Doesn't seem to do it as often these days. I'm not sure if teams have sussed that out and try and push him away. We've seen that once or twice already this season. But Ballon Dawson says Benitez is another yesterday's man. Let us know who you'd like to see instead, Ballon. If if a change was coming, who would you like to see replace David Moyes? If that was the case. Hello. What are you doing? We have a visitor off stream. You may have just seen her head there. Not quite sure what that was all about, but anyway. So yeah, so that's how things stand at the moment. Should we pop on over to the general discussion forum on Knees Up Mother Brown and see what our fellow Hammers are saying at half time? Okay, I think it's going to be generally decent. Well, SH says people will be pleased because we are running around more, which I think is a pretty poor take on what we've seen so far this afternoon. The intent has been there. It's just the quality missing so far. Master, who is actually at the ground, says there's lots of shouts of "This is boring here. The crowd is not happy." Not sure that's come across on the stream so far. Perhaps maybe in just the area he's sitting in. Hammer PD says, "Who needs goals when you lead in the crossing stakes?" And Pob says, "Abject display. Absolutely no danger going forward. Another insipid powder puff." First half performance. I think another pretty poor take on what we've seen so far. A bit of frustration, I think, from one or two of our forum members there coming out today. What else have we got? Yeah, not a lot constructive, as you might expect, given the state of the game at 0-0 so far. Forest fans, I'm sure, will be a little bit happier. I might even try and find the Forest Forum, actually. LTLF. Let's see what they make of it so far. But it is goalless. If you're just joining us, it's goalless at half-time at the London Olympic Stadium. West Ham United versus Nottingham Forest. West Ham pretty much in control so far of the game, but just haven't found a way to break through. Hopefully that will come early on in the second half. A few comments from the Forest fans. Isaacs writes, if we score first, I think they'll burn down the stadium. You can hear the tension. It's there for the taking. And H says it's been crap from what I've seen so far, but it's if it's another crap half and we draw 0-0, I won't argue, which I wouldn't be surprised is the mood or the attitude inside the Forest dressing room at the moment. Canadian Red says the fact that some of us don't think the incident involving Johnson was a penalty and some do probably says a lot. I think all that says is that some of you haven't got a clue about football. If any of you thought that was a penalty, I'd be annoyed if it's given against us, they continue, but for sure. You see those penalties given for Man City, Man United, Liverpool all the time. I'm not sure you do at all. It's a crazy thing to say. It was a ridiculous dive and Right, if anyone disagrees with me, let me know. If anyone did anyone think that was a penalty? Not sure. Anyway, there is a change from West Ham. Aaron Cresswell is on the pitch. I would imagine that's a straight swap for Ben Johnson. But Cresswell is back on the field. Now, I'm guessing a lot of that will have to do with the fact that we've had an awful lot of set pieces. And Aaron Cresswell, of course, is deadly from set pieces corners. I'm not sure Johnson did anything particularly wrong there. I'm assuming it's Johnson that's come off. I've not seen the ball go up yet. But I'm pretty sure that's what's happened. Anyway, West Ham start on the front foot. Played it onto the right, and it's a corner already. West Ham win a corner. Now, Johnson's on the side. I think it might actually be Sue Fowler's come off because Johnson is gone over to the right. So I'm assuming that's Cresswell for Sue Fowler. If anyone can confirm that, please let me know. I can't see Sue Fowler on the pitch at the moment, but Cresswell is trotting over to take this corner. It's Sue Fowler. Thank you, Quan. Yeah, indeed, Sue Fowler. So we'll have to assume that's injury related because he was doing okay in the first half, I think. Cresswell is going to provide us with an in-swinger from West Ham's right. Come on, Aaron. Stick one on Souček's head. First minute of the second half. Bit of buffering in the box, bit of pushing and shoving. Cresswell taking the corner. In-swinger headed on by Souček and just over the bar. But that is the first corner that we've actually got onto first. 10th corner, I think, from West Ham. The first one we've actually won. Souček at the near post, trying to divert it into the goal. He's headed it over. It's not far over, but encouraging start from West Ham. Anyway, from that set piece. It's not on target, won't count as a non-target effort, but West Ham looking dangerous anyway inside the first minute of the second half, continuing where we left off before the break. So that's good stuff. West Ham in possession again. Declan Rice finds Souček, is going to spread it out wide to Johnson. Johnson's going to play it into Jarrod Bowen, who turns towards goal. Out on the right touchline, plays it back. Johnson, what's he going to do here? He's going to look to get to the byline, but no, he turns back, cuts back. He's going to look for Souček. Souček with the ball just outside the box and plays it back to Johnson. Johnson has it nicked off his feet. And Lucas Paqueta does really well to win the ball back and keep it in. And Agurd finds Johnson back to Paqueta. Good one-touch football by the Hammers here, but it's played down the line to Johnson. Now, Johnson, can he get a cross in? Had a chance to get one in early doors, but he's won a throw-in. Good bit of defensive work by the Forest player there. I think it's Cody again. Lodi, sorry. And Johnson will take the throw, plays it short. I think it was a foul throw, actually. Yeah, the linesman's actually given it, yeah. Poor stuff from Ben Johnson. You can't take throw-ins like that, lad. Can't everyone knows? What are we taught as kids? Hands behind the head, proper throw. Real waste for West Ham. Possession conceded cheaply. David Moyes looking pensive, arms crossed on the touchline, looking down, considering what he can do next to improve West Ham chances of winning this game. We have a goal at the King Power Stadium. Gabriel Martinelli has scored in the opening minute of the second half to put Arsenal ahead. The current league leaders take the lead there at Leicester. Now, Forest, just having a little look at this. Forest seem to be 5 or 10 yards further up the pitch in this half, applying a little bit more pressure on West Ham. Definitely playing further up the field this half. Quite content to sit back in the final third and bring the pressure onto them, but they've changed tactics a little bit this half. They're definitely a little bit further up the field, and there's a slightly higher press going on. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. The ball played down the line. Johnson with the ball to the right of West Ham's penalty area, up against Angelo Ogbonna. Gets to the byline, does get a cross in, but headed out by Agurd, and Souček will find Said Benrahma on the right flank. But Benrahma closed down by two players. Back to Ogbonna, who just hoofs it clear. Looking for Ings, but Ings loses the header, but it falls to Souček, and Souček concedes possession again as Ings loses the header against Felipe. Forest back in control of the football. Well, it's just beginning to look a little bit dangerous. The ball played on the right. Low cross in, dangerous cross. Naya Fagerd gets ahead of Fabianski and puts it out into touch for a corner. And really, really dangerous ball low across the area from Williams, the right back, into that corridor of uncertainty. That's good defending from the Moroccan. Gets ahead of Fabianski. Fabianski would have cut it out, but taking no chances there, the Moroccan centre-half, and putting it out into touch. It was actually for a throw, and it didn't go out for a corner. And West Ham now have a goal kick. 5 minutes gone in the second half. Still, West Ham United 0, Forest 0. Just trying to have a bit of volume, just see if we can get an idea of what the crowd's like there. Yeah, seems to be a few shouts of frustration. West Ham conceding possession. Now Johnson into the box. Declan Rice does really well to win possession. Very, very lax there, the Hammers. Gave away possession way, way too cheaply. And have done it again, and Forest have a throw in now. This is a bit of a purple patch for Forest, the best they've looked so far. As I said, it coincided with that sort of slightly more attacking attitude that they've come out with in this second half, having weathered the storm in the opening 45 minutes from West Ham. West Ham looking to win back possession, but Forest able to keep the ball. Now, this will frustrate the home fans. Forest just playing the ball from left to right at the moment, keeping possession. No real great intent to get forward, just trying to frustrate West Ham. Now, Johnson plays it out right, once again to Williams on the right-hand side, up against Cresswell. Cuts inside, beats Benrahma. He looks to, he's going to try his luck, drags his shot wide, and Fabianski watches the ball roll wide of the goal. No danger to the Hammers goal there, but West Ham got a, yeah, this is the most we've seen from Forest. They've certainly come out and looked stronger in this second half. West Ham are going to have to get hold of this game. As Hobo says, Cooper's made a few adjustments and we haven't. Absolutely right so far. David Moyes, I'm sure, would have just been a case of go out and carry on doing what you're doing. But as I said, Forest playing that slightly higher line so far. Anyway, Saïd Benrahma on the left looks to attack Williams. Gets past him. Can he get past him? He can't. Williams wins the ball. And he's played it off Benrahma. He's absolutely furious because he feels it should be a goal kick. I think he's probably right. Saïd Benrahma's expression tells me he's probably right. Let's have another little look at this. Benrahma plays the ball past him, looks to play it across. Oh, I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure. I think it is if it was a touch by Benrahma, it's a very slight touch. Anyway, Cresswell plays it short to Benrahma, not picked up. Benrahma cuts back inside, dinks one up to the far post, looking for Souček. Just too far, just too deep. But something a little bit different from West Ham on that occasion. Forest didn't pick it up. The short corner played back to Benrahma. A little dink to the far post, just too far for Souček, and goes out for a goal kick to Forest. 52 minutes gone, 0-0 here. Kevin Nolan is concentrating on the TV screen, having a good look at the monitor in front of him, checking it. Mikhail Antonio has been told to go out and warm up. Interesting. No Scamacca, or no sign of Scamacca yet so far. Now, Benrahma on the left-hand side again, up against Williams, looking for an overlap. He's conceded a free kick. It's poor from Benrahma, really poor stuff. Could have just kept possession, but tried to do something a little bit clever, tried to roll the ball between his legs to the advancing Aaron Cresswell and lost the ball and pushed his man over. Poor stuff. And Forest, naturally, as you would expect, taking their time over this. Still no goals in the games between Everton and Villa and Leeds and Southampton. So only one goal so far. Match of the day is going to be an absolute hoot tonight. If things don't change and quickly between now and the final whistle in these four matches. We're 8 minutes into the second half. The only substitution so far, that change we believe was enforced by West Ham. Aaron Cresswell coming on for Vladimir Soufal. Ben Johnson switching from the left to the right at half-time, and Cresswell fitting in at left back. His first appearance for some weeks, of course. Cresswell's been injured himself and left on the bench, been out of favour a bit, hasn't he? While Emerson's been playing, but West Ham switching to that back four for today's game, playing like a 4-3-3 formation. Cresswell on the ball, plays it down the left to Benrahma, cuts inside. Williams on his case, finds Declan Rice. West Ham switching the ball from left to right, trying to create a bit of space in the middle. Johnson down the line, looking for Bowen. Bowen got a little shove from Felipe, but Felipe got his back to goal. Got to try and play it out, and they've given the ball away. That's the chance. Benrahma. Oh, he looked for Ings. Tried to find Ings. Still got the ball inside the box. Back to goal. Turns. Can he get a cross in. He can, but it's blocked and the ball's played back to Johnson. West Ham still in possession. Johnson looks to get to the line, turns, changes his mind, crosses with his left foot. It's gone for Danny Ings. Danny Ings plays it back. Poor touch, given away. West Ham getting closer, but still can't find that most important, vital touch. Looked like we might have it there. Ben Rama tried to find Danny Ings, but the ball was cut out. And chance came to nothing, but West Ham back in possession. Little 1-2 between Ings and Paqueta on the left. Ben Rama squares it to Bowen. Now can Bowen let one go? Bowen has a shot. Oh, it's off the post. Oh, it's Jarrod Bowen's hit the post. Unbelievable. Oh, once again, Jarrod Bowen pulls the trigger, but once again, West Ham are denied against Nottingham Forest by the woodwork. How many times is that? Was it twice at the City Ground? Twice already today? Anyway, West Ham have the ball. Paqueta has a shot! Oh, and it's just over the bar. West Ham so close to opening the scoring twice in the space of a minute, but it's still 0-0 here at the London Olympic Stadium. It's got the crowd going, though, I can tell you that much. Paqueta just over the bar. Let's have a look at it from the reverse angle there. This is it's grazed. I think it's grazed. It's grazed the crossbar. But that shot from Bowen, it's hit the. I mean, and another one. It's hit the cross, the post square on, came straight back out, an inch to the left, and it's going to rebound into the goal, an inch to the right, so it goes out. It's just West Ham's luck. Forest living a charmed life against the Hammers so far this season. Anyway, as I said, it's got the crowd going. It's what we needed, just a little bit to lift, the crowd. And the songs, Bubbles is being sung. But West Ham so close, still can't break the deadlock. But Jarrod Bowen doing his best, so close. For the first time, he actually got a run at goal and given a bit of space, and he pulled the trigger. It's so close. Beat Navas all ends up. I thought the shot was going wide at first, but it was, bang off the post. Now, someone will tell me whether that's 4 or 5 times in the 2 games against Forest so far this season we've hit the woodwork. It's definitely 4, possibly 5. I don't know, maybe. But Craven's actually, I see Craven, you've asked the question as well. Is that 5 times we've hit the post against Forest? Yeah, it's 4 or 5. It's definitely just not had any luck at all against this mob so far this season. But better. And the crowd are getting a bit up for it. It's certainly lifted them, which is good. We David Moyes made the point, didn't he, that we need the crowd behind us. But anyway, Forest now breaking themselves up the other end, looking to work something. It's on the right with Williams. Williams up against Ben Rama, step over, plays it short inside, ball back to Colbeck with that mop of red hair in the centre for Forest there. Forest calmly trying to work the ball into the penalty box. It's Johnson now on the left-hand side, and Paqueta thought he'd done enough to win a throw. Thought the ball had come off Johnson's foot, but referee Gillett says no and gives it to the team in the yellow shirt, the visitors from Nottingham this afternoon. So close, West Ham. Thought we'd got the opening goal there, but wasn't to be. Now, what's happened? The referee's given a free kick. Is that for offside? Not quite sure what that's for. Souček and Shelby having a few words. Declan Rice stepping in with a smile to diffuse that particular situation. Now, we're getting to that hour mark where one or two of you were saying you'd like to see Moisey make a change if nothing happens. Let's see, will he be proactive today? Obviously, one change already. We assume that was enforced by Soufal's situation. We didn't see him look injured in the first half, but didn't come out for the second. Assuming it was an injury, not tactical, but you never know. West Ham looking to get the ball on the deck. Jarrod Bowen heads it down the line, but Forest can't clear their line. Souček gets a block in, and Felipe just hoofs it clear. Anywhere will do for the Forest man, the veteran defender. It's a game of head tennis once again, but Forest winning that little battle in the end. And Williams has the ball deep inside his own half, plays it long, looking down the line. Cresswell gets a foot in it, but it's a poor touch from Cresswell, gives it away to Shelby, who has the ball. Shelby looks to put one in the box but it's a poor ball from Shelby, the former Newcastle man giving it away. It's a long ball from Declan Rice looking to get Danny Ings away. Now Ings could beat the keeper here. Oh, Navas had to come out to beat. So it was a poor header back to the goalkeeper, but fortunately he was in a fairly advanced position anyway when the header was played back to him. He managed to get to the edge of the box at the head of Danny Ings and win the ball. Ball played in to Benrahma. It's a poor touch from Benrahma again. Just takes his eye off the ball and loses it. And West Ham in a really good position now. This is dangerous. Johnson's away on the right-hand side. He's got behind. He managed to turn. It was dangerous for the first time. West Ham caught out of the back. It's all stemmed from that side Benrahma mistake where he conceded possession cheaply. Johnson got away down the right-hand side. Aaron Cresswell was miles away up the pitch. Johnson cut inside Ogbonna. Declan Rice done really, really well to get back and apply the pressure. And Johnson shoots high and wide. But West Ham have got to be careful. Conceding now would be disastrous. You would assume for West Ham. Don't look like scoring at the moment, let alone getting two. But we stay hopeful. We're in the final third of the match now. Still goalless at the London Olympic Stadium. Jarrod Bowen on the ball for West Ham. Rides a couple of strong challenges and finds Lucas Paqueta. Paqueta plays it out wide to the advancing Cresswell. Now can Cressy get a decent corner? Plays it short to Benrahma. Plays it back. Danny Ings on the ball. Plays it back to Cresswell. Cresswell looks to get a cross in. It's a bit of a lazy delivery and Cresswell beaten. But Paqueta regains possession. Well done, West Ham, keeping the pressure on. Still trying to work it into the box with Paqueta on the left-hand side. And he has Cresswell near him. He has Benrahma near him. Keeps the ball. Turns and runs towards the centre. Tries to play a little ball into the box. It's too easy. It's too obvious. And Forest can break now. Ogbonna needs to win this ball. And he does well. Chris Wood had the ball, but Ogbonna does well to win possession. He's just trying to shield it off now. But he does really well there, actually, the Italian defender. Excellent stuff. And West Ham have possession and could look to build again with Declan Rice. Deep inside West Ham's own half at the moment. But it's a good game, this one. It's looking pretty good. Paqueta plays it long. Looks to get Danny Ings away behind, but it's Joe Worrell who puts the foot out and stops the ball going through. I'm sure West Ham need to be trying these long, speculative balls through at the moment. Just keep possession. There's still plenty of time to try and work an opening, but we do need to start threatening the opposition goal. We're 60 minutes in. We've only had 1-2 shots on target so far. Hit the post twice, of course. It's now Forest breaking on the left-hand side. This is dangerous. Shot cross comes in from Gibbs White. He wants a penalty. The referee's not going to have any of that. Still have the ball on the left. Delivered in, cleared out by Agurd. Now Jarrod Bowen gets the ball under control and hoops it long, looking for Danny Ings to make a run into the channel. Danny Ings up against Felipe, and it's no battle that. Felipe winning that way too easily. And Forest able to break again. Colbeck finding Gibbs White, I think it is. Back to Colbeck. Dangerous. Good move this from Forest, but I don't know why Declan Rice didn't win that ball there. He kind of stayed and watched it. And Paqueta in his own penalty area in a little bit of trouble here and given the ball away to Shelby. And Shelby kind of muscles him off the ball and it's a throw into Forest. Now, let's have a look at this. It's, Lodi's struck the ball straight at Johnson from about a yard away. It's hit Johnson's arm. The VAR, I presume, I've looked at it and said no. But it's one of those where you've seen them given, not for the first time a West Ham player being caught handling the ball inside the box in recent weeks. Now, we're having another look at this. It's come off the lower half of Ben Johnson's arm here. All struck straight at him, but play's continuing, so we can assume that nothing has been given there. Even though the TV cameras give me kittens for a few moments when they kept replaying it. But anyway, 63 minutes gone. Still West Ham United 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Beginning to look more and more like one goal is going to make the difference here. Now, that is definitely a handball from Said Benrahma. Stuck his hand out and he's not going to get away with that one. Referee Gillett seeing that one. And Forest have a free kick right on the halfway line. Still no sign of any impending changes from David Moyes with 26 minutes of the game left to go. Forest understandably taking their time over this free kick. Been told to take it back and to hurry up a little bit. Still waiting for this free kick to be taken. Not much noise from the home fans at the moment. All the noise seems to be coming from the away end. The Forest fans beginning to find their voice behind the goal there, with their team drawing 0-0 at the moment. Big free kick from Shelby, which eventually Lucas Fabianski comes out to claim amidst a sea of bodies, and looks like he took a kick in the head for his troubles there. He's gone down clutching his left temple. Seems to be in some discomfort. Let's have a look at this. I think it might be a West Ham player who kicked him. Let's have a look. I'm not quite sure what happened. Did he? It might be Felipe. As Felipe's come in to challenge him, he's gone over the top. And I think actually Fabianski's just head-butted Felipe's knee as he went down for the ball. He's in some discomfort here, so I would assume Alphonse Areola will be warming up here. Knife Gerd is indicating his disappointment with Felipe regarding that challenge, and it looks like we're about to see Andre Ayew, the former Hammer, come on for Forest. So there you go, an attacking change impending, it looks, by Forest. As we see Alphonse Areola warming up for West Ham as well. The substitute goalkeeper, should he be required, excuse me. Sorry about that. Put a bit of heat on. It's getting a bit chilly in here this afternoon. Lucas Fabianski is down. Looks dazed, a little bit confused. Wouldn't be surprised to see a concussion substitution here. Andre Ayew is poised and waiting to come on. Of course, a free transfer for Forest in the January transfer window. And here he comes. Who's he going to be coming on for? Is it going to be an attacking change, or is it going to be a like for like? Johnson maybe, or Wood coming off? We'll see. So the ball goes up. It's actually the number 34 coming off. Going off. Sorry, it's John Joe Shelby, I think, who's going off. So it's definitely an attacking change from Steve Cooper, who clearly thinks he can win this game. Shelby, who's probably been the most prominent Forest player out on that pitch today, I think, replaced by Ayew. But there you go. Cooper definitely going for it. He wants all 3 points. You can see that now. He'll obviously feel he's weathered the storm. 66 minutes in, and that's an attacker coming on for a midfielder in the shape of former Hammer Andre Ayew, replacing a Hammers fan in John Joe Shelby. Lucas Fabianski, in case you're wondering, still receiving treatment. I wouldn't be surprised to see a change here, because he's still down on his haunches, blinking profusely. Doesn't look like he's all there to me. I would imagine that we're going to see Areola come on in a few moments, but referee giving them plenty of time. While that's happening, let's have a quick look at the match stats. West Ham 52% possession to Forest 48, same as it was at half-time. West Ham 9 shots, still only 1 on target. That effort early on from Said Benrahma, but the Hammers, of course, hitting the post twice. Forest still only 2 shots so far. Areola is coming on. West Ham are going to make the change. Alphonse Areola is going to be West Ham's second substitution of the day. Lucas Fabianski, they clearly feel can't go on, or isn't fit enough to go on. Definitely took a kick to the temple there, and definitely looks a little bit dazed right now. And that is the end of the polls afternoon. Oh, he's actually sporting a really, looks like a very, very big black eye there. That's a nasty one. He's taken one right in the eye, and rightly so, the change being made by West Ham. So Areola, many people's first choice, of course, as Hammer's goalkeeper, is coming in to take the position between the sticks for the last 21 minutes plus however long referee Gillett feels we should add on. It's going to be 4 or 5 at the moment as things stand. But anyway, the French international coming on for is this his first Premier League appearance of the season? May well be. But Fabianski definitely not completely with it at the moment. Looks very, very dazed and sporting a rather naughty looking black eye right now. Big cheers for Areola as he comes onto the pitch. Coming in at a very, very pivotal point in the game. We're in the final quarter now. West Ham still desperately seeking a goal. and possibly could be a goal that saves David Moyes bacon. Good news from Goodison Park, folks. Good news from Goodison Park. Ollie Watkins scored a 63rd minute penalty to put Villa ahead, which is excellent news for West Ham. You know, with us not winning as things stand anyway, it would put, if West Ham were to draw here, we would move above Everton in the table if the results were to stay as they are and move out of the relegation zone. In fact, we'd move up to 16th because we'd move above Bournemouth, albeit temporarily, potentially up to 16th with a draw today. So, you know, not that we, you know, really want to see a draw at the end of the day, but good news. Anyway, Danny Ings with the ball, plays it outright. Players resume. Jarrod Bowen on the ball. Got a bit of space in front of him. Can he find an opening? Bowen gets into the box, still going. Plays it across. Ings has scored. But is he offside? I've got a feeling he's going to be offside. Danny Ings has got the ball in the back of the net, but did he encroach beyond the last defender? I don't know. I don't know. You can't celebrate, can we, at the moment? The players certainly are, and the fans certainly are. I'm kind of a little bit low to get too excited, but the ball is in the back of the net in the 70th minute. It is temporarily, at least, anyway. West Ham United 1. Forest 0. Now, I think he's offside, but let's have on Tony Gale, by the sound of it, seems to think he's offside as well. Let's have another look now. Bowen gets into the box. Please be onside. Oh, I think he's on, you know. I think he's on. I think he might be onside. It's very, very tight. VAR will be studying this one carefully. Of course, West Ham undone by VAR at the City Ground earlier in the season, had a goal ruled out, which many of us felt was incorrectly. Antonio judged to have fouled a defender. Let's have a look. I mean, Ings has done really, really well to get his foot on top of the cross from Bowen. Bowen's out on the right-hand side. He's pulled it across the centre. Ings has kind of had to put his foot back to get to it. Now, VAR is checking this. I think Ings is onside. I'm looking at this. I'm fairly certain he's onside, unless it's going to be by the question of his arm. They're looking at this really, really closely. I think he's in line. I think actually he's being played on by the Forest defender. Yeah, he's onside. He's good. He's good. It's going to count. West Ham are ahead. West Ham lead. It's counted. Come on, you Irons. Phew. We can finally, decision goal. No offside offence on the big screen up there. West Ham lead. West Ham United 1, Nottingham Forest 0. There's the goal. It's taken 70 minutes, but we have the breakthrough. We can finally celebrate. Oh, breathe a sigh of relief, but long way to go yet. Still only one goal ahead. Another goal would be lovely now, wouldn't it, Hammers? Lucas Paqueta on the ball. He's going to try and get one. Plays it inside. Benrahma into the box. Benrahma around the back. Can he score? It's 2-0. It's 2. And West Ham are ahead by 2 and cruising now to victory. Oh, what a fantastic 60 seconds that was. West Ham United 2, Nottingham Forest 0. And that should be the points in the bag. We've gone from being potentially desperate a few moments ago to being 2-0 ahead. Unbelievable stuff. Absolutely unbelievable. Now let's pick this one apart. It's Danny Ings again, by the way. I can't tell you. Sorry, I'm too busy celebrating, not telling you what's happened. It was Lucas Paqueta who played the ball over the head of a defender on the left-hand side. Played the ball inside to side Benrahma, burst into the box. Looked like he'd taken one touch too many. The ball played across, hit Danny Ings on the knee. Now, we're talking about a bit of luck. Look at this. It hits Danny Ings on the knee. Navas goes the wrong way and comes off his hand and rolls into the back of the net. Whatever. Anyway, it's West Ham 2, Forest 0. Danny Ings is on a hat-trick. And we are in dreamland, I think it's fair to say, folks. And looking ahead to our first win since the Everton game, as things stand. Long way to go yet. Let's not get... Calm down. Calm down. Calm down, knees up, Mother Brown. Calm down. Anyway, we're 2-0 up, and you can, listen to what it's done to the crowd. Unbelievable. Huge sigh of relief indeed, Tony Gale. But great stuff from West Ham. I'm just writing my notes down. I haven't had a chance to do this yet. Great work from Paqueta and Benrahma to create that goal. And David Moyes not making the changes, and it's paying off, dare we say. Anyway, Forest on the break, now looking to to somehow get back into this game. Declan Rice telling his players, get yourselves back, come back and help us defend, telling Benrahma to get back. Interesting to see that. Williams with the ball on the right-hand side. West Ham back in numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Hammers behind the ball now. Cross comes in. Oh, that's unlucky, but I think that's going to be a corner. Knife for Gerd. No, he's been given us a goal kick. Gerd and Ayew going up together. Ayew's dumbfounded. He can't believe he's not been given a corner there. But good work by Knife for Gerd. Puts in a challenge and it's been given as a goal kick. David Moyes dropped Michail Antonio today, put Danny Ings in the starting 11. It's a decision that's paid off for the boss. Danny Ings has come up with his first 2 goals for West Ham, and well, could be on a hat trick. As I say, he's on a hat trick. Could it be a third? What an incredible performance that would be if he could get another one. But as it is, West Ham are on the way to a first win since that defeat of Everton. And look at the difference it makes to the Premier League table. Well, it's a bit early to look at that yet. Let's stick with the game because still a long, long way to go yet. But West Ham have a throw in inside Nottingham Forest half. And the mood has changed completely at the London Olympic Stadium. It's almost a carnival atmosphere now in Stratford with the Hammers 2-0 ahead. Got that breathing space, 1-0. You know, we were happy, but it was all still quite nervy, wasn't it? But a second goal in the space of just 60 seconds. And West Ham have pretty much taken the game out of Forest's reach. One would like to think anyway. But conceding possession from the throw. It's Felipe now with the ball, surging forward for Forest. It's a wonderful atmosphere. It's almost like a party atmosphere now at the London Olympic Stadium. The fans thoroughly enjoying themselves, having bitten off all their fingernails in the first 70 minutes, you would think. But here we are, 76 minutes on the clock. It is West Ham United 2, Nottingham Forest 0. It's if it was just now, Forest making 2 more substitutions. I think we're going to hear of some more boos here because Jesse Lingard is about to enter the fray. Yeah, big chorus of boos. Lingard on for Wood, who's been utterly ineffective in the match so far for the Hammers, which makes a change because, as Craven pointed out earlier in the stream, he's usually so effective against West Ham. What was it, Craven? I think 7 in 10 goals you said he'd scored. Lodi also coming off for Forest, and Toffolo, the number 15, coming on for Forest. 2 seconds, folks. So that's 3 substitutions now made by Forest, 2 by West Ham. Cresswell and Areola replacing Soufal and the stricken Fabianski. Anyway, West Ham breaking. Declan Rice surging towards the box. Plays it left to side Benrahma. Can Benrahma hit the touchline? Couple of step overs. Declan Rice tries to cut one into the far corner. Oh, it's 3! It's 3-0. And West Ham are in glory land now. Declan Rice finds the back of the net. There's going to be no VAR check on this one. We don't need one. He's shot from the edge of the box. And West Ham are strolling to victory. 3, count them. 1, 2, 3, 0 to the Hammers. Unbelievable scenes. 3 goals in 7 minutes for the Irons. And I think now, surely, we can all sit back and relax. 78 minutes gone, and Declan Rice, the skipper, pulling the trigger from the edge of the box. Once again, it's Said Benrahma who set it up. But it's Declan Rice who began the move, surged through the centre, played it out on the left to Said Benrahma. Benrahma into the box, couple of step overs, played it back to Rice, who's lurking on the edge of the box. Rice just gave himself a bit of space, put it onto his right foot, took a step back, allowed the room for the shot, and just curled one into the right-hand corner. It's a fantastic finish. Oh, it's a superb finish. That really is a striker's finish from Declan Rice. But so much time to pick his spot. Navas no chance with it. Forest sitting off. And that is the points in the bag for West Ham. West Ham United 3, Nottingham Forest. I'll say it again, shall I? West Ham United 3. How many times have we said that this season? Nottingham Forest 0. We've just blown them away, haven't we? 7 second half minutes, and West Ham have just completely blown Forest away. Danny Ings on 70 minutes, opening the scoring. A minute later, Danny Ings getting a second, and 7 minutes later, it's Declan Rice. And it could be a fourth here, but Navas has come out to prevent Bowen receiving the ball on the edge of the box. But Forest have absolutely fallen to pieces here, and we always knew they were vulnerable, didn't we, on the road? I mean, Forest have just taken 6 points on their travels all season, been very, very strong at home this season. But yeah, 6 points, their full tally from their away fixtures prior to today. It's still going to be 6 points after today because they're not going to come back from 3-0 down. One would assume. Stranger things have happened. We all remember Tottenham, of course, a couple of years ago. Manny Lanzini, but surely lightning's not about to strike again here, or strike twice, or whatever. Aaron Cresswell on the ball for West Ham. Finds Said Benrahma. Short to Danny Ings on the left-hand side. West Ham just keeping ball now. It's going to be exhibition stuff, I think, for the Hammers for the last 10 or 15 minutes. Of course, there's going to be 4 or 5 or 6 minutes of added on time due to that injury to Lucas Fabianski earlier in the second half. But I think we can sit back and relax, folks. We can enjoy the rest of this game. And how often have we been able to say that this season? Not many times. Angelo Bonner throws himself into a challenge to win a header and finds Said Benrahma. This is great stuff on the Hammers. Benrahma is going to try and run Worrell into the corner. He does. He's got no support whatsoever, so he's just going to have to keep the ball. And he's done really, really well to win a throw-in from Joe Worrell there. West Ham, this I did mention earlier, this win would put West Ham up to 16th in the table. Now, there are goals elsewhere. We can tell you that much. There are goals happening elsewhere. Aston Villa still winning 1-0 at Everton. Great news for West Ham. Leeds have scored against Southampton. Leeds now 1, Southampton 0. Leeds scoring that goal through Junior Firpo in the 77th minute, exactly the same time that West Ham scored their third goal. So that's Southampton and Everton both below West Ham, both losing at the moment. Of course, it would be better if Leeds weren't winning, but you know, could be worse. Leicester still 1 goal down to Arsenal. So Leicester, Everton, Southampton all losing this afternoon. West Ham and Leeds winning amongst those teams that are vying for the relegation or for trying to fight against relegation at the moment. But West Ham, as things stand, up to 16th in the Premier League table. We would be 1 point behind Wolves, who drew at Fulham last night, a point behind Leicester, who are currently losing to Arsenal, and only 2 behind today's opponents, Forest, if the scores remain the same. So it's still very, very tight down there. West Ham, of course, will be 2 points off the relegation zone with a win today. So, yeah, it's good so far. It's good so far. We want four, sings Polaroid. Wouldn't it be good, eh? Why not? Let's have another one. But West Ham got some defending to do at the moment. Johnson into the box. Angelo Bonner does really, really well to track his run and puts the ball out. Taking no chances, puts the ball out for a corner for Forest. A rare chance for Forest to attack West Ham's goal in this second half. Palace have to be careful now, says Craven. Lose to Liverpool tonight, and they are sucked right into it. Of course, yeah, Palace only on 26 points, will be 3 above West Ham going into their game tonight. And of course, if they lose today, they would stay 3 above West Ham. So it's very, very tight down there at the bottom. The bottom 9, 10 teams all involved. Corner comes in from Johnson, clasped by Areola to rapturous applause from the home fans. And he's going to take no, there'll be no haste, should I say, in him getting off the ground and releasing the ball. 82 minutes on the clock. Changes, triple change coming up from West Ham. I don't think there'll be any complaints from Hammers fans today, though, about Moyes leaving this late. It's Paqueta is coming off. He's done a good job. Worried about him, weren't we, at the start of the game? Thought he might be injured. That shoulder again fell on that shoulder. Looked like he might be in trouble, but he's managed to last the full game. It's going to be a triple substitution. Lanzini, Antonio, and Fornals coming on. Benrahma is also coming off. Now, is it going to be Danny Ings coming off, or is he going to leave Ings on the pitch? I'd imagine Ings, but yeah, it's Ings coming off, which is a shame, really, because you'd like to have seen him perhaps go and get a hat-trick. But anyway, it's Paqueta, just to confirm, Ings, Paqueta and Benrahma being replaced by Lanzini, Fornals and Antonio. Danny Ings gets a big cuddle from David Moyes, who may be saying to him, "You've just saved my job there, son." May as well be, because for all intents and purposes, he has with that brace. 2 goals in the space of little over a minute for Danny Ings. He may well have paid his £15 million back today alone with those goals. West Ham with the ball anyway. Declan Rice on the left-hand side plays it short to Pablo Fornals, who finds Thomas Souček. Souček looks up short to Lanzini. Lovely stuff by West Ham. Back to Fornals. Fornals delivers to the far post. Looks to Jarrod Bowen, who picks up the ball just outside the penalty area on the right-hand side. He's going to look to get it himself. Souček to Johnson out on the right-hand side once again. West Ham building patiently. It's clever from Fornals. Oh, Johnson just has the ball taken off his feet, but given straight back to West Ham. Forest, got to say, been absolutely woeful this afternoon. West Ham have controlled this game from start to finish. Never looked in any danger. Now, Bowie's got behind. Can he deliver the ball? Pulls it across. Michael Antonio's played the ball the wrong run there. But anyway, it's come out to Cresswell. Short to Fornals. Can Fornals get his cross in? Pulls back, delivers to the far post. Antonio! There's 4. It's 4-0. And West Ham are in dreamland. Oh, it's absolute hammering here for Forest. It's so easy. Pablo Fornals on the pitch for, 1 minute? Cut inside. Delivers the ball to the far post. Michael Antonio's not even celebrating. Can't believe it. He scored a goal. He's not even happy. But it's 4-0 anyway. And West Ham are absolutely tearing Forest a new one. There was a few of you, wasn't there, at the start who said you fancied it today? Got to say, I said I fancied a few goals. I didn't think there was going to be a few, but West Ham have now scored 4 goals in 30 minutes. If you popped out to go to the shops about 20 minutes ago, you're going to be absolutely gutted because you've missed an absolute masterclass from West Ham here this afternoon. But it's Aaron Cresswell, plays the ball down the line to Pablo Fornals, who pulls back, checks, lifts one to the far post. Mickey Antonio gets the header in, unchallenged. It's 4-0. Pablo Fornals with his trademark celebration. He does love being involved in a goal, and it's an assist for the Spaniard and a first goal for a while for Mickey Antonio, and it's West Ham United 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. West Ham United 4. Nottingham Forest 0. Yeah, we're in dreamland. Unbelievable. Of course, there's a long way to go still this season. Lots of points to be played for, but this is going to give the team a huge, the whole club, in fact, is going to give the whole club a massive boost. Yes, people will say it's Nottingham Forest. They're absolutely terrible on the road, and they would be right. Forest 6 points away from home all season, but you still got to beat the team that's in front of you. And West Ham continues to do that when they need to. Beat Everton when it looked like Moyes' job might be, on the block. His neck might be on the block. Done it again today, handsomely, haven't they? Of course, remember the first game when Moyes came in, beat Bournemouth 4-0. Huge game. That many felt was the catalyst for West Ham's improvement and eventual good run towards the end of the season that kept us up in the Premier League that year. Could this be the same here? Could this spark a change in fortune for the Hammers? Talking about fortunes, I mean, don't forget we've also hit the post twice today. Could conceivably be 5 or 6 this one. There's still time for more. Forest has been absolutely terrible today. They've really gone out with the wrong attitude, I think. They've sort of tried to, it's quite clear the game plan was to stifle West Ham for the first half. They changed it a bit tactically in the second half, but it's made no difference, and West Ham have thrashed them, quite frankly. And we have another corner. Jared Bowen cutting in from the right-hand side, clearly fancies a goal himself. Has a dig, but it's deflected out for a corner. I'm not sure how many corners we're up to now. It must be 12 or 13 for West Ham. But it's Felipe getting in the way on that occasion. And West Ham will not be taking this one quickly, that's for sure. Craven pointing out that it's now 2-0 to Aston Villa. Now leading 2-0 at Goodison Park. Sean Dyche's recovery, suffering a major setback this afternoon. Second goal coming from Emi Bunduena in the 81st minute. Now, there's a VAR check here. This could be handball. Let's have a look. Now, Bowen's shot, I think this might be a penalty. Bowen's shot has been handled by Felipe. No, it's not been given. It's not been given. The corner's taken. So, dangerous. Falls to Fornals. Can't get on the end of it. I think the VAR team might have been looking at that one, thinking that they didn't award the one against Johnson earlier in the half, and with Forest already on the wrong end of a 4-goal hammering so far. Probably felt a little bit of sympathy for him, but it definitely looked like there was contact. But anyway, it stays 4-0. West Ham still in possession. Steve Cooper, I would imagine, will be praying for the final whistle to goal, because if the only team likely to get any more goals here are West Ham. Ben Johnson with the ball on the right. He's going to look to deliver it. Cuts inside, gets it on his favoured left foot. He's going to have a dip. Yeah, that's why he plays at left back, not up front. The ball sailing high over the bar and into the stands at the back there. Yep, we're in the final 2 minutes of normal time now. And West Ham, just to think, it was 20 minutes ago. Here we were, nervous, praying that West Ham would be able to find a way through and score, the goal that would give us 3 points. We didn't have worried. 20 minutes later, we've scored 4. Unbelievable, quite unbelievable scenes at the London Olympic Stadium here in the second half. And Jesse Lingard's on the pitch as well. Oh, it could be any better, could it? Lovely stuff. Lovely jubbly. Nottingham Forest have a throw. We're in the final minute now. There's a picture of David Sullivan and his current partner. Sullivan in his customary Russian hat and coat. Can't tell whether he's pleased or not. I'd imagine he's absolutely delighted at the moment with the way things are going. Of course, you know, as I say, this isn't, of course, just about today's result. A win here would have been a confidence boost, but a win of this magnitude, absolutely smashed Forest. It's going to do wonders for the morale in the camp and in the dressing room for the next week. Big games coming up, of course. Brighton, Man United ahead, 2 tough games, but this is amazing. You know, I don't think we can underestimate the importance of this win and the magnitude of it as well. So far, anyway, still time to go. We're in the final 10 seconds of normal time. Forest looking to create something. Jesse Lingard on the ball. Aaron Cresswell wins it back and frees Declan Rice, and West Ham might be able to counter. Oh, it's clever from Fornals. Finds Rice, and Rice is away. Rice breaking down the left-hand side. He's got an overlap from Fornals if he sees him. He does. Fornals will lift this up again. Can he find Antonio again? Doesn't need to. Pulls it back for Rice. Rice thought about pulling the trigger again and going for a second there, but instead keeps the ball. Finds Fornals on the left. Fornals looking to get to the byline. He's not going to beat Worrell with pace, but he does find Cresswell, and Cresswell loses the ball. And Worrell, who's it clear, but only as far as Bonner, who looks to keep possession. West Ham lose it again, though. Forest can counter here. Rob Waldron asking, I wonder how Scamacca is feeling. I guess you'd imagine he's pretty delighted. To be fair, Rob, I would imagine, you know, with his team winning 4-0 at the moment, I get your point. I hear what you're saying, but I'm not sure he's completely fully fit yet. I mean, you know, we know he's only just returned to training. I'd imagine that Moyes, probably correctly in the circumstances, has taken the view that if Scamacca's not fully fit, we're 3-0 up at the time, or 2-0 up. It was 2 or 3 when we made the substitutions. 2-0 up, wasn't it, when the substitution was made? Are you with the ball? Loses it. Yeah, so I'd imagine he's quite content sitting on the bench watching his team 4-0 up. You'd like to think so anyway. 7 minutes added on. No surprise, really, considering that Lucas Fabianski was down for about 5 of those. 7 minutes added on at the end of this game. We're just waiting for the final whistle elsewhere. It's still 2-0 to Villa. Still Leeds 1, Southampton 0. Still Leicester 0, Arsenal 0 as Forest break on the right-hand side. It's the number 16 on the ball, but poor ball that's cut out easily by Souček. 5 minutes left to go. Jared Bowen wins the ball now. Mickey Antonio, can he spring a counter? He can't. The ball is won back by Forest and played back to the goalkeeper. Yeah, Polaroid. Time to talk about man of the match, I suppose. Polaroid going for Jared Bowen. There's no goals or assists, but started the game buzzing about. Hasn't stopped for a moment. Really set the tone. It's a fair shout. Who's your man of the match? Danny Ings, of course, is going to be up there, I'd imagine, with the 2 goals that changed the course of the game and set West Ham on the path to victory here this afternoon. Been some good performances. Ben Rama's had a good second half. A couple of assists. Done really, really well. Paqueta had a decent game. Thomas Souček, I thought, was excellent in the first half. Declan Rice has buzzed around, scored a wonderful goal and made some vital interceptions at the back. Nia Gerd and Ogbonna, especially in the second half, have looked really, really strong. So lots of candidates this afternoon, but let's know who you fancy for man of the match this afternoon. Brian, it's 4-0. I know there was a flurry of activity and goals, but if you've missed one, it was 2 for Ings, 1 for Rice, and a 4th for Mickey Antonio. I've not even written the Antonio goal down. That's how quickly they were coming. I've only got 3 of the 4 goals myself on my notes, but it is 4-0. I can assure you that. Forest breaking into the box now. Lingard looking dangerous, got a chance, plays the ball back. Shot comes in. Oh, it's a great save by Areola. Really, really good save. Not sure who the shot was from, but Areola made a great save to push it wide. UTJ Junior just poking his head round the corner to ask what the score was, and rather happy when I told him, as you would expect. Still waiting for full time elsewhere in the Premier League. But one thing's for sure, West Ham are going to get the 3 points they so desperately required this afternoon that take us up a couple of notches in the Premier League table. Forest looking to pull one back, get a consolation before the end. Hopefully they don't, because they haven't deserved it. Quite frankly, it's a poor ball given away, and Pablo Fornals will look to counter for West Ham. Plays a good ball to Declan Rice. Now, Declan Rice, can he find Mickey Antonio ahead of him? Decides not to, decides to just check back and find Manny Lanzini instead. Lanzini to Rice, who finds the Argentinian once again. West Ham just keeping the ball now, just holding possession. And it's Olay time at the London Olympic Stadium for every pass from the Hammers. Everyone's going to be going away with a big smile on their face this afternoon, that's for sure. Following this thoroughly comprehensive victory for the Hammers, and who thought we'd be saying that 20 minutes ago, or 25 minutes ago, when it was still 0-0, and we were really getting a little bit nervous. Manny Lanzini turns in the centre circle, tries to thread a ball through for Mickey Antonio. Antonio's never going to make that at the age of 32. Maybe at 23 he might have made it, but certainly not now. Still no final whistle elsewhere. Yeah, it's a great save that from Mariola. Just seeing that again, it's Toffolo, the sub, who had the shot across goal, but palmed wide by the French goalkeeper, who, of course, came on for the stricken Fabianski in the 69th minute, seconds before West Ham took the lead, in fact. That long break preceding the onslaught that was to follow. 4 goals for West Ham coming in the next 13 minutes. Steve Cooper, nothing to say. I'd be interested to hear his press conference after the game. But for Forest, the away form, dreadful away form this season continues. And yeah, it's going to be a huge blow for them, I would imagine, this one. You know, they were expecting to come here and, if not take a point at least, you know, not get beaten heavily. They certainly wouldn't have been expecting a 4-0 defeat. Agard getting some hand slaps from, or Bonner getting some hand slaps from Agard and Cresswell, having just seen the ball out into touch after Forest threatened on the left-hand side. David Moyes looking quite circumspect on the side. He'll be, no doubt, absolutely thrilled with what he's seen in this second half from his players. There it is, West Ham United 4, Forest 0 up on the board. Just reminding us of the score. It has finished at Ellen Road. The final score coming in. Leeds United 1, Southampton 0. 3 huge points for Leeds. But for Southampton, you wonder where they go from here. But Leeds, of course, still very, very much in the battle for the, you know, to see off relegation, as are West Ham today. Huge 3 points for the Whites there today. Still going on elsewhere. Leicester have been beaten at home to Arsenal. That's finished 1-0. As we see West Ham, that's going to be a handball, surely. We're in the final 7 seconds. Gillett has looked at his watch, and I think that's it. There it is. 96.58, 2 seconds short of the 7 allocated minimum time indicated by the fourth official a few minutes ago. But it doesn't matter. We don't care about 2 seconds. We care about the 4 goals that West Ham have scored this afternoon. It's been a comprehensive victory, a trouncing even, a thrashing, you might say, for West Ham. 4 goals, not 3, 4 goals in 13 second half minutes, securing the victory for West Ham. Danny Ings scoring 2, Declan Rice the 3rd, and then substitute Michail Antonio with virtually his first touch of the ball, making it 4-0 for West Ham, a result that few of us would have expected, even if 1 or 2 of us might have cheekily suggested we fancied West Ham scoring a few goals today. But that's how it's turned out. West Ham up to 16th in the Premier League. We've got... the cameras are doing very, very good. They're timing these pans of the fans very well today, because we've just seen another close up, another Hammers fan giving another coffee shake sign to the visiting fans. Huge reception for the players today, and not one of them's not going to go to the fans and applaud them for their efforts today. Fist pumps from Declan Rice this afternoon. He knows what an important win that was for the Hammers today, and what a massive goal that was for Deckers as well this afternoon. Fantastic strike. Took it absolutely fantastically well, didn't he? Let's have a quick look at the Premier League table, how things stand at the end of today's or this afternoon's 4 games. Southampton beaten 1-0 at Leeds, remain bottom of the pile. 18 points from their 24 fixtures. Bournemouth, who play this evening, next up, 21 points from 23. Everton beaten at home. Bit of resurgence, hadn't they, in the last 2 weeks? Won 2 of their previous 3 games, but it's not enough to see them drop back into the bottom three, to prevent them from dropping back into the bottom three this evening. 21 points from 24 following their 2-0 defeat at home to Aston Villa. Leeds out of the bottom three. That goal in the second half, giving them the 1-0 win over the bottom club Southampton, moves them to 17th place. They're now got 22 points from 24 games, a point behind West Ham United, now in 16th, up from 18th in the relegation zone for 1 week and 1 week only. Moving clear of Everton, moving clear of Leeds United, 23 points from 24 games and reducing that. I mean, that's a huge effect on our goal difference. We're now only -6 for the season, which is quite incredible when you think we've only won 6 games and lost 13, to still be only -6 at this stage. And it's pivotal. It could prove hugely important. It's essentially worth another point when you look at the clubs around us. Southampton -22, Bournemouth -23, Everton -15, Leeds -10, and above us Wolves -15, West Ham -6. Now just a point behind Wolves and a point behind Leicester. Leicester beaten today by Arsenal at home by 1-0. 24 points, both of those clubs, and then 2 points above us. Could have been 8 if we'd lost today, but as it is, it turns out it's only 2. Forest in 13th place, 25 points, but with a goal difference of -24, the worst goal difference in the league. And I said at the start of the season, I fancy Forest to be in the mix for relegation at the end of the season. I've got to say, having watched what I've seen today, nothing really changes my view that they could still be in for a fight against the drop. I still have them as one of my favourites to go down, to be fair. But Craven, I think it was mentioned that Palace, if they don't win today, are going to get dragged into it. They're now only 3 points above West Ham. Of course, have that game in hand yet to play. I think they face Liverpool, don't they, today or tomorrow? But anyway, they could easily get dragged back in it. Villa may have been in it, but they're looking good now, 31 points in the 11th spot. So, looking at that, you're looking at 8 teams in the battle to avoid the drop. It's going to be a roller coaster of a season, that's for sure. Between now and the end, it's who would like to predict who's going to go down? Well, let us know. You guys are joining me on the chat. Let me know who you fancy to face the drop. Do you think Forest will tumble down the table? Do you think Everton's renaissance is over after just 2 games? Do you think Leeds it's just a flash in the pan for them? Do you think West Ham, with some 1 or 2 tough games coming up in the next few weeks, will fall back into it? What is for sure is that there's still plenty of games to go, and there's a long way to go before this is decided this season. Stick around for the next few minutes because we're going to have 1 or 2 of my fellow team members on KUMB joining me for some post-match discussion. One of them actually is coming along now because I do believe we've got Noam joining us live from outside the London Stadium. Noam, can you hear me?
Yeah, hear you loud and clear. Hear me all right?
I can. I'm just going to bring you onto the screen, buddy. Bear with me a second. We've just got the top of your head there at the moment. There he is on to my
I'll move the phone a bit
on the screen. Let me just bring your audio up a little bit, Noam, because you're a little bit quiet at the minute.
Okay.
69 minutes gone. It was West Ham United 0, Nottingham Forest 0. We were all getting worried and concerned and fretting and thinking, where's the goal going to come from? We've been spoilt, as they say. 4 goals in the next 30 minutes. We had nothing to worry about, did we?
It had all the elements of one of those games that we were going to boss for 89 minutes, and then they were going to sort of stick some sort of sucker punch right at the end.
Yeah.
And it would have been a travesty if we'd done anything other than win that game. But travesties happen, as we know. Confidence, all about confidence, isn't it? You can sort of see it seeping back into the players once we've got the first goal.
Yeah.
When you get the second so quickly as well, then you're going to have that adrenaline rush, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
And excuse me, sorry. They were rubbish, weren't they? But so we played a lot of rubbish teams and lost to them. So good that we won that one.
It looked for quite some time that Lady Luck was going to ignore our attention once again. Hit the post twice. The first one could almost an own goal come off of Lodi's instep, hit the post just wide. Jared Bowen smashing the ball against the post early on in the second half. So I mean, you know, you look at the game as a whole now. You reflect on the entire. Quite easily, we could have won by 5 or 6, which is quite bizarre. Bearing in mind that we only had one shot in target for the first hour or so.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, it was just one of those. It was all gearing up to be one of those typical games where you play somebody for park and lose 1-0.
Yeah.
And you know, I guess years of watching this does that to you, I suppose. But no, I mean, as I say, you had 2 goals in a minute. That's going to give you such a boost, and you could see it in the players. You know, people weren't hiding. People wanted the ball, and yeah, I mean, it didn't flatter us in the end, but it looked as if it might have done.
No, it certainly didn't flatter us. How was the?
A quick question.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, just a quick question. With Fabianski, for all the world that he had a foot left in on him.
It was what happened was, I mean, he obviously dived at the feet of. I think the replay suggested he just headbutted Felipe's knee as he fell. There was no intention in it. Completely accidental, I think. But I mean, he was quite clearly concussed and couldn't continue.
Because I know, yeah, I know Rice. I think Rice was having a word with, because Felipe's got previous, shall we say, hasn't he? And there was a little bit of a debate, shall we say, going on the centre circle, whilst Gillett had his back turned on it, didn't know what he was doing after.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I was just curious, because you know, it seemed to be an awful lot of treatment required. The player going off for something that didn't merit a free kick.
Yeah. No, it definitely. I think it was fairly innocuous. Well, what was your view on the 2 penalty incidents? The first one we had was the handball claim from Forrest for the ball that struck Ben Johnson's hand, and of course West Ham had one at the other end, but it looked like Felipe stuck his arm out. What was your view of those incidents?
The Johnson one was the first half, wasn't it? No, sorry, second half.
Second half, yeah.
The Johnson one, it was like driven at him for about 2 foot or something like that. It was, it wasn't a case of moving. It was just one of those that you instinctively know is. I haven't seen it again, but the other one, I to be honest, it didn't register. So I read a little report, just said VAR having a quick look, but didn't take too long about it. But it didn't register as such when I saw it originally. So really not what I can say.
There was, I don't know, I mean, you won't have seen this, I don't think, in the stadium, but there was a moment when Danny Ings scored the first goal when we all thought it was going to be ruled out for offside. I called it as soon as it happened. I thought he was off, so I wasn't kind of getting too excited. And then, it couldn't have been closer. They were pretty much bang on. I mean, did it? Was there any concerns in the stadium there that it might be disallowed? I think we might have lost Noam temporarily, just to see if we can get him back. Okay, we'll see if we can come back to Noam in just a minute. We've lost him temporarily, even though he's kind of moving very slowly. It's a bit like he's a bit like that on the football pitch. Actually, to be fair, he moves a bit like that. But anyway, let's have your man of the match shouts. Who have we got? I don't know if I've missed anyway. Hopefully, we can get Noam back in just a minute. But let me know your man of the match was. Who have I missed? Have we got any? And let's just have a quick flick through your comments. No, it doesn't look like we've had any nominations yet. So get them in. Anyone who's still watching, get your man of the match nominations in. And I suppose I should do mine, really. I thought Paqueta had a really good game today. I enjoyed watching him. Declan Rice again, of course, had his customary good game. I think you've got to give it to a goal scorer today, given the magnitude and the importance of finding the back of the net. And there was someone who did it twice for us today. So I think I'm going to, go for the obvious and nominate Danny Ings for my man of the match today. First start, I think, for West Ham, and it's coming in, done a job. And Just seen Hobo's comment. Moyes has gone subs mad. He's taken Nome off now. So I think for me, Danny Ings just about edges it. David O'Rourke going for Lucas Paqueta. Yeah, fair shout. I thought, as I said, I thought he had a good game. David thought Paqueta was really good, and just to think we were so worried that he was going to get taken off, weren't we, at the start of the game there when he fell on that shoulder, but. Managed to recover and put in a really strong performance. Chico going for Ings too, although he felt Bowen was worth a shout. So Jared Bowen had a good performance, didn't he? Worked really hard. And Steve Palmer narrowing his odds down a little bit, going for Agard, Oggy, Paqueta or Ings. I'm not sure you can have four, Steve. I'll let you have a couple, but I think four's been a little bit greedy, but it's fair enough. I mean, any of those four would have a valid shout for man of the match this afternoon. A couple of stats for you. Declan Rice is going by numbers. We like these from my friend Statman Dave. Declan Rice is going by numbers today. 98% of his passes completed, 66 touches, 55 passes completed. So work that out. That must be 54 of 55 passes completed if he's got a 98% completion rate, which is pretty damn fantastic. 11 ball recoveries. Quite incredible statistic. 4 key passes, 3 out of 4 aerial duels, 1, 2 clearances, and of course a wonder goal. What a finish it was from Declan Rice, and what a game he's had. Match stats ended up exactly the same as it was at half time in terms of possession. West Ham 52% to Nottingham Forest's 48%. I've got a feeling these stats haven't been updated because it's still telling me West Ham had 9 shots and only 1 shot on target. We'll forget that. We'll come back to that, BBC. Sort your stats out. That's clearly not changed since about the 65th minute. Must be a Forest fan who's working the buttons up at Television House there this afternoon, or wherever the journalists who are doing the match are situated right now. Anyway, we'll hope. Oh, there we go. I've refreshed it. And it's updated. It was actually 52-48 possession in West Ham's favour in the end still, but West Ham 14 shots, 3 on target apparently. How do they work that out? How have West Ham had 3 shots on target when we've scored 4 goals? I think they've still got errors going on there. We'll just completely forget that. Anyway, Nomi's trying to get back. For some reason, doesn't seem to be able to join us. It must be the service around the Olympic Stadium. But what a performance from West Ham. Hobo says Paqueta for me too. Considering he looked wounded, it was a great recovery. Certainly was, wasn't it, Hobo? Sean West going for Danny Ings, like me choosing the obvious selection, but a very, very valid one. I think I'm going to call it a day actually, because we can't seem to get Gnome back on, and I've got lots of content to go and add to Knees Up Mother Brown. There'll be match report, of course, my brief summary, followed by Chris Wilkinson's match report, rather more extended, lengthy and detailed and better, you'd probably say. Match report coming either later tonight or first thing in the morning. We're going to have David Moyes' press conference. We'll have Steve Cooper's thoughts on the game. We'll have 1 or 2 other players' thoughts on what's happened this afternoon as well for you on KUMB, of course, on the KUMB.com forum. It's going to be, everyone's going to be ecstatic over there right now after watching that this afternoon. Considering how much everyone was complaining at halftime. No reason to complain now, though. I haven't watched the Hammers come through and secure a 4-0 win. When was the last 4-0 win? Was it when we beat Bournemouth? Surely we've scored 4 goals in the Premier League since then. We're talking purely Premier League, not in the Cup. 4 goals. If anyone knows the answer to that before we cut the stream in a couple of minutes, let me know. Can't wait for the opposition view on Monday. Of course, Craven, opposition view will be back on Monday with the thoughts of our friends from Nottingham, which I'm sure will be thoroughly enjoyable, given what we've seen this afternoon. Something else to look forward to. Lots of other content coming up on KUMB between now and Monday. Next Wednesday, is it? Next Wednesday, the Cup, I think, is our next game. Old Trafford. It's a bit of a free hit, really, for West Ham, isn't it, that one? Well, that would be nice to potentially carry on in the cup, in another cup, of course, in the Champions League, Conference League. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit there in the Conference League. Amazing what a win does, isn't it, for confidence? Yes, Dan's pointed out Wolves 4-0. Thank you, Dan. Thank you for squeezing that one in before the end of the show. Of course, it wasn't that long ago, but few and far between are 4-goal wins in the Premier League, and we can certainly go and enjoy one this afternoon. So that's it. Get yourself on over to the KUMB.com forum for some post-match celebrations and chats. And thank you to everybody for joining me live on the stream. Keep me company. It's always difficult when you're doing these on your own. to kind of try and keep things flowing. So it's good to kind of have some comments to fill in the gaps when necessary. So thank you everyone for providing all your words of wisdom and not so wise words. Doesn't matter. They're all welcome nonetheless, regardless. That's it for this particular stream. It has finished. West Ham United, Nottingham Forest 0. We were so worried after 69 minutes when it's still 0-0. We'd only had that one shot on target, hit the post twice. Thought it was going to be another one of those games. Turned out we needn't have worried in the end after all. 2 goals from Danny Ings, 1 from Captain Declan Rice, and a 4th from substitute Michail Antonio sent West Ham through to their biggest win of the year and up to 16th in the Premier League. Still going to be a tough fight between now and the end of the season, but what a confidence booster that's going to be for everyone at Rush Green this week. Thank you to everyone for your company. I shall see you all again very soon. Until then, my friends, come on, you Irons.